All right, we are feeding out to the people.
Whew.
All right, so listen. Welcome everyone back to the show. This is the Who Moved My Freedom podcast. I'm your host, Hank Strange. It's going to be an awesome show. It's a Thursday evening. We're going to have a lot of fun. There is no show tomorrow, so enjoy this one. This is going to be a special one here. So, let me start with this. We got some dudes to hijack a time vortex, and when we went back 50,000 years, we started 50,000 years back to canvass the world's most wretched despots. That's how we say it, right? Despots? I think that's good, right? Right?
Uh,
The
Not
despots?
really.
Despots good? I mean, you're a lawyer. You should know this thing. To find out to find out who is the best, 2A freedom loving, unapologetic podcast the world has ever seen, that the despots are, the most afraid of. We asked Genghis Khan, Vlad the Impaler, Idi Amin, Hitler, John McCain, and Ruth Bader Ginsburg.
Yeah.
All of them trembled in fear of the Who Moved My Freedom podcast. Yes, that's right. Yeah. All the evil people. Because this is the number one Second Amendment freedom show on the face of the planet. That's right, you're listening to us. So, I want everyone out there to go to hankstrange.com, sign up for our email list over there. Lola has deals that she's throwing up on there. You guys can save yourself some money, and we could get a couple of shekels out of that. Helps keep us going. Especially with all the craziness going on. Every single video. If I put up a video where I shoot a gun, YouTube limits it.
hmm
Every single one of them, man. Like, I think actually my views have been cut. And they were already down, but they've been cut in half over the last couple of weeks. So lots of craziness going on. So we appreciate anyone who goes there, helps us out, goes through those links and all that kind of stuff. You can find the other platforms we're on through the Strangerholic link in there. And one of the things you all can do is sign up for US Law Shield. In the description of the audio, this video that you're watching live right now, there is a link that you can go through and you can save some money on US signing up for US Law Shield if you do an annual plan, plus also puts a couple of shekels in our pocket. So all of that being said, I am going to kick this podcast off right now. Stay right there.
Welcome back to the Hank Strange Situation.
To make sure you
Lifestyles of the
subscribe
lock
to the
and
channel,
load.
smash those thumbs ups, ring the bell so you can be notified every time we go live. We are live. Matthew Larosiere, Esquire. Do I have to add Esquire to that?
No, that's not necessary.
Yeah. It's just me and you today, so it's gonna be
Yeah.
yeah, it's gonna be one of those. It's gonna be one of those days, Matt. It's gonna be one
That's
of
all
those
right.
days. Jazz hands, man, jazz hands. You gotta do jazz hands. No matter how macho you are.
hmm
I know you're a very macho, manly man. You
Do
know,
you?
well, I was assuming with the beard. With the girth of the fullness of the beard, I was just assuming. I was just assuming.
It takes a lot of neglect to get a beard like this. You have to really not pay attention for quite some time.
Neglect?
Yeah.
Oh, somehow I doubt that you're neglecting your beard. I do. Yeah, I do not believe that, man. I do not believe that.
Drool on it a little bit.
Oh, whatever. That's a very neatly coiffed beard. If you could coif a beard, I don't know. Someone's gonna have to. Someone's, okay, Lola says yes, you can. You can coif a beard.
Yep.
Yeah.
I was trying to do it earlier because there's this little bit that keeps going over my lip. It's
Oh.
annoying me, and I can see it in the view.
Oh, okay. You need
Yeah,
clippers.
that's all the quaffing it gets for the
you,
day.
need, you need clippers, yeah. All right, so listen, I hope you guys have your big girl panties on. This is episode 766 of the Who Moved My Freedom podcast. My host, as you hear and see there, is lawyer Matthew Larosiere. Did I say host or guest?
You said host.
I said
But
host.
it's all
there
right.
you
I'll
go.
take control.
Yeah. Feel free. Feel free. Of Fuddbusters on YouTube, right? What's your other accolades? Give us some real accolades. I start to show off now with some BS nonsense accolades just to make sure people are listening. Tell us some awesomeness about you. What else do you
The
do
biggest
other than YouTube?
accolades?
Yeah. No, not BS, not BS. Real stuff, real stuff. Don't
Real
make
stuff. All right. Well,
Yeah.
I'm a gun rights lawyer. I
Mhm.
before that I was an auto mechanic and made furniture for doll houses. I became frustrated with that and decided that law might be a better avenue.
Mm-hmm.
I helped invent the air conditioner, and I've never opened a 2-liter without help.
Okay, some of those things are not true. I'm
What do you mean?
assuming you helped invent an air conditioner or the air
Yeah,
conditioner,
yeah, the one.
the one air conditioner, the
Yeah,
original air conditioner.
yeah, the real one.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Then there's got to be billions and trillions then, right?
I
In a
don't
fun
know.
in a fun somewhere in a fun
I got
somewhere.
a high five out of it.
Oh, okay. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it
Mm-hmm.
was
Right.
a good one.
There's a lot of stuff in there. We're gonna get into that and see how much of that is for reals and how much isn't. Listen, Zach Carr gave us some money, so we got to do
Money,
this.
money, money, money,
Woo!
money.
Yeah. So thanks
He
to Zach.
challenges me to a beard off.
Yeah. Uh, so yeah, I challenge Matt to a beard off. Oh boy. Okay, so we're gonna. Well, I mean, I
What are the
see.
terms of a beard off?
Yeah, well, I see it. Let's see. I can't see it super clearly, but his avatar or
Mm,
whatever that is there, it looks. Yeah, man. I would not take that
that's long.
challenge. Yeah,
Yeah.
I would say maybe don't take that challenge. Control Pew says yes. Make Matt shave. Oh boy, why?
She was always trying to influence my life and make little decisions for
Yeah,
me. He's a
he's
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 a middling wife.
yeah, he's hating on you, man. He's hating on you. You know. Um, Michael Avon says, "Well, if Gore can invent the internet."
Yeah, why not? Why can't I have the air conditioner?
Yeah, and Brian Quick says, wasn't the original AC just a bucket of ice behind a fan blowing?
No, stop! You'll give away the end of the show.
And Control Pew says you'll look weird. Maybe we should get some pictures of you before the beard. Is that on the internet?
um, I mean, I could pull some up. Like, what would you want me to email them to you?
You could text. You have my phone number, right?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Well, I have
text.
Lola's.
Oh,
She's the
you
one
have
who always
Lola's?
gets.
Oh, Lola, text him my phone number. I don't know, so you could send it to me directly. How come you don't have my phone number, man? What's
Because you
going
never
on, man?
text me.
Oh,
You have Lola
really?
take care of all your stuff.
No, that's not true. That's not true. Just, a lot of things. Just a lot of things. Not everything. Not everything. But maybe Lola, send him, and we'll see if we can get that. Find, first of all, let's start with baby pictures. We'll, do you have
The
baby pictures?
closest, not handy. I have a
No.
picture from 10 years ago where I didn't have a beard.
Hmm.
Uh, and yeah, I have 2 pictures from 10 years ago where I didn't have a beard.
Where you didn't have a beard? Okay.
Yeah,
Yeah, that's a
and they look
lot of.
pretty,
Go ahead.
pretty stupid.
Yeah. So LV Louis Cipher says Matt without a beard is like Stacy Keach without his porn stash.
Yeah, I'll let people see it. Here, I'll
Yeah.
text it to you right now.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So that's a lot of. There's a bunch of stuff in there. Now listen. So let me thank Walther, by the way, Walther Arms, for sponsoring the show. We appreciate that. They've been sponsoring the show now for a while, and we really do appreciate those guys helping us to do this. And, they're great guys. They've got awesome guns. You guys need to check out, buy, support them. You know, and we need to actually get them back on the show here. You know, and
Yeah,
have a conversation with those guys here. CJ says, good evening, fellow deplorables. Shout out to Vanessa Kitty as well. Are you going to the IV 8888 thing? I'm sure someone's going to ask about that at some point here.
me?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm going.
Oh, you're going? Okay.
Mhm.
Oh, boy. It's going to
What?
be trouble there. Man, it's going to be, yeah. That's going to be a little outrageous. Wait, some strange person is texting me. I don't know.
How do you reckon it's going to be outrageous?
Huh?
Why is it going to be outrageous?
It's gonna be too many gun nerds. Oh, what the hell?
Yeah, that was a long time ago.
Okay, so yeah, let me throw this first one up here. This
It's my
looks like a
64 Chevy.
what? 64?
It's my 64. It's a Corvair, rear engine, air cooled. I've still got that car. That was when I first picked it up, and I was
Uh,
told there was nothing wrong with it. The body. I just needed to rebuild the engine, and of course that turned into a complete frame off restoration because the seller was a liar.
yeah. So that floor. So this is all redone now. This is all
Yep.
restored.
Yep. I
Oh,
built the engine after getting the body all done. I built the engine uh, in my apartment when I was in law school.
wow, that's cool. Oh, here's a badass one right here. Let's
It's
see.
not
We'll have to
badass.
look at
That was
that.
me at 18 when I got my
Whoa.
first motorcycle.
And what is this motorcycle? Is that Harley?
No, God no.
No.
It's a good bike. It's a
Oh, it's a
1980
Honda.
Honda
Honda. Yeah, I see.
CB900 Custom. Yep.
Right. Yeah, I see the wings right now. Yeah.
10-speed transmission.
Oh, nice.
Weird little
Very
bike.
cool. What happened to that kid? To that kid right there, man? What happened to
I don't know.
him?
Some probably drugs or something killed him.
Yeah. Yeah. So you're still so you're saying that you started out building furniture and fixing cars and stuff like that. How'd you get
So
into
the
that?
dollhouse thing was a lie.
Oh, okay, that wasn't true.
No, I was
Oh.
copying you. I was doing the. I was just making.
You did pretty good. You totally
Uh,
bamboozled me. You totally bamboozled me.
you think that I used to make dollhouse furniture?
How do I know?
I mean, it sounds fun.
Yeah, anything's possible.
No,
People have lots of little different, yeah. Everyone's
I
different in the
did. I
world,
did
man. I
fix
don't.
cars. Yeah.
Okay. How did you start doing that?
Well, when I first went to college, so it's funny. I had no mechanical ability. And then I got
Hmm.
that bike when I was 18, and it was like it was another one of those situations where I was gullible, and I was told, "Oh, it just needs spark plugs." I'm like, "Okay, I can figure that out." And then, of course, the whole engine needed to be rebuilt. I got a quote for it, and it was like 4 times the money I had in the world.
Hmm.
So I downloaded the Honda factory service manual and just read it front to back. Rebuilt
Hmm.
the whole bike just by reading the manual. And
Mm.
then eventually I realized, hey, cars are just like big, ugly motorcycles. And I started,
Oh, now, hush your
yeah,
mouth.
I started, I started offering, to do simple jobs on cars when I was in college. And then,
Hmm.
I got more and more clients and had a little repair shop by the time I was done.
Okay. So now, correct me if I'm wrong here, or forgive me if this is like, you know, insulting or something like that. I don't know. Are you somewhat Jamaican? You've got like some percentage Jamaican,
Yeah, I'm half
heritage?
Jamaican, half French,
Okay.
half Jamaican.
Half French, half Jamaican. So, do
Mhm.
you think this could be the Jamaican side of you, with the
Oh, yeah.
mechanic coming out? Because
Well,
that's the
then just
first.
the
That's the first.
entrepreneurialness.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's the first thing I think. Because, yeah,
Well, no, it was like, I need money. What am I going to do? And it was
yeah.
actually funny what I did. I went to the auto parts stores
Hmm.
and I got like free business cards off Vistaprint. And so I got my little 250 stack and I went around to
Uh.
all the auto parts stores, told
Hmm.
all the managers, hey, if you get somebody who needs an alternator or something, give them my card.
Hmm.
If they tell me your name, I'll give you a cut. And then I would, every Saturday, I would go around to all the parts stores. And at the time I knew everyone was there and I'd walk up to, whoever I'd given the cards to and just hand them like 20, $30.
Hmm.
And then they were all like, why'd you get $20? And I'd tell them, and then I'd give them cards. And so then they just started like pouring me
Hmm.
um, referrals. And,
Oh, wow.
but yeah, I think I made my Jamaican side proud with that.
Yeah, hell yeah, yeah. I'm from the Caribbean, and a lot of my mechanics have been Jamaicans
Yeah, Jamaicans are good
over the
mechanics.
years. Yeah.
Yeah, I know a lot of, and most of the mechanics I would work with when I was in Orlando were Jamaican and Puerto Rican.
Hmm. Oh, okay.
Yep,
Oh, okay.
all good.
Yeah, interesting combo there. Yeah. My first, like everyone, like we were talking yesterday about my first car, which was a 1985 Honda Prelude, which I bought from a Jamaican mechanic. I think even my dad was using that mechanic as well. But so that's kind of like what you had to do in New York City.
Right,
Um,
need to find somebody.
yeah, yeah, you had to find like a mechanic dude or whatever. I think I paid like $2,500 or
Right.
something for that car. It was pretty cool. It was awesome. It didn't
Yeah.
last that long. Someone T-boned it and totaled it.
At least it didn't like blow up. At least it wasn't your fault.
Yeah, yeah. I
Or it
don't
was
know.
your fault. Is that what you're saying?
No, it wasn't my fault. But the guy ran a stop sign and then ran right into me. But the thing is that Yeah, Jamaican mechanics don't not always above board. Let's just put it that way.
Well, but they get it done, you know.
Yeah.
But then, like I had somebody say, "I only have this much money," and I'd be like,
Mhm.
"Well."
Yeah.
Like,
Oh, we make it work.
there was a lot of times I
Yeah.
stuck a little like $100 buzz box welder
Hmm.
into a car to just make it
Yeah.
work.
Make it happen. Make it happen. Yeah. You
You
have
know,
to learn, growing up in places like that, or just, you got to hustle, man. You got to hustle forever. You
right?
make whatever you have to do to make it work. So I think I have like a little bit of that in my system as well. Um,
Yeah.
all right, cool. Yeah, I see Sanctuary County says I had a Prelude too. I love that car. Yeah, I love mine, man. It was a stick shift.
Mm.
My dad gave me one lesson. He had a 1985 Hyundai Excel. He gave me no, 1986 Hyundai Excel because I think that's when they
Now
first came out.
that's a miserable grief box.
Oh, jeez, yeah, but he bought that car like brand new, and he gave me one lesson on it, which it was a stick shift, and then he didn't, like I didn't know how to drive a stick, so I could smell the clutch burning, and he was
Right.
like, "Yeah, you're not driving my car anymore." So I basically got that. I learned. I did burn out the clutch. Then I had to pay that Jamaican mechanic to change the clutch for me. A lot
To
of money.
jumble one in
Yeah.
there.
But it
um,
was a good car, man. I love Hondas are pretty cool cars. So, um,
yeah.
yeah.
No, I
Tom,
am. I
go
to
ahead.
this day I will only drive a stick shift. To this day,
Hmm. Yeah.
I just have
Oh,
to
you only
know where it
drive
gets
stick
to.
shifts, huh?
That's it. That's
All
it.
right.
And that's why
Okay.
my trucks are, never new. It's hard to get
So what do
a
you
full
rock? So
size
you're
truck.
rocking like a Mercedes 600 Mercedes stick shift?
No, I've got a '95 Chevy Silverado step side,
Okay.
extended cab, extended bed, which is kind of cool.
Hmm.
And then I've got a Cadillac CTS coupe,
Oh,
the
nice.
regular car. And they're both
Right. Very
stick shift.
nice. Yeah, those are badass, man.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
like it. It was when I got it, it was very crunched up. So it was
The what? The Cadillac?
the Cadillac, yeah.
Oh,
Because
so
I
you.
wasn't gonna. I mean, at that time they were selling for such a ridiculous amount of money. I wasn't gonna,
Hmm.
and that's what I wanted. So I just
Hmm.
went to the insurance auctions and found
Hmm.
one that would stick. I went with that.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
It had three
Those
wheels, but I bought it.
really. So you could do body work, all that stuff.
I cannot do body work.
Oh,
I would have one of my buddies do that. Yeah, no,
okay.
body work is an art, and I'm not an artist.
Okay. All right. Yeah. I was gonna say, man, you could be like Tavarish on YouTube, if the lawyer thing doesn't work out. Speaking of the lawyer
Right.
thing, Atomic Bull says mechanics are about as honest as lawyers. See
Well,
that?
there you go.
What's your as a lawyer, what's your opinion of lawyers?
I
High
hate them.
opinion? You hate them?
Yeah, I
Okay.
do. I hate it, really. I mean, because when I went to law school, I was thinking like, I had that entrepreneurial mindset when I went in, and I'm like, oh, so I'm
Hmm.
going to meet a bunch of other people who want to learn,
Hmm.
how to stay on the straight and narrow while just barely avoiding, like just being right on the edge, right? Just how
Hmm.
to take command of the law.
Yeah.
And I met one other person like that the whole time I was in law school. Everybody else were just a bunch of necrotic weirdos that
Hmm.
were just obsessed with rule following.
Okay.
And so yeah, my experience in law school made me despise lawyers as a class.
So was everyone just becoming a lawyer just for the money? I mean, I'm assuming some part of it you also wanted the money. Like everyone's
Money's gone.
parents think if you're a lawyer or a doctor, you're gonna get money, right?
Not since like 2008 when the
Hmm.
boomers messed up the whole legal market.
Hmm.
Like there's really not a tremendous amount of money in it.
Hmm.
It was just something I really wanted to do, and
Hmm.
I'm glad I did. I'm really glad I became a lawyer, and I'm glad I'm able to do the things I do now. I wouldn't be able
Hmm.
to do it with that stupid piece of paper. I would
Hmm.
also be really happy if they just got rid of the requirement altogether,
Hmm.
and that anybody could do it with just like a basic competency test or something.
Okay. Okay. So you had to do the YouTube thing so that you could make money. I'm sorry, I couldn't say that with a straight face.
Yeah,
No way.
YouTube is really rewarding.
Hmm.
The it's really rewarding. I really enjoy it. I've met so many cool people who like joined my Patreon, joined my Discord, and all that stuff. And I mean, like that was definitely one of my favorite things I ever did. Was start up Fuddbusters.
Okay.
That and working with FPC was very rewarding, and then starting up MAF was incredibly rewarding.
Okay. What's MAF?
Oh, it's a wind chime company.
Oh boy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. Sure. Yeah. I seriously don't have any idea.
Comments. Tell them I'm not joking. Like somebody in the comments must have heard of MAF.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
I'm not joking.
Okay. I don't know what it is at all. Here, let me run in let me see if I can. Here we go, Fuddbusters. I'll show the folks Fuddbusters. You guys need to go subscribe to Fuddbusters here, so I'll show that. Here we go. There's Matt. Let's see what you've been dealing with. Gun Law 101, writing a public comment. Okay, so this is about the ATF thing that recently came out, right?
Yeah.
So,
you think your sponsor will like my shirt?
Huh?
Did you think your sponsor will like my shirt?
I can't see your shirt in there yet. Oh, what, the shirt you're wearing now? I'm not looking at you.
I'm
looking
in the video you're looking at.
Oh, let me see. Where is it? I
Go
can't.
to the very beginning. You can see it.
Oh, let's see. Right here at the beginning. Where is it?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go. I see a little bit of the Walther, a little bit peeking out, just a little tiny. Yeah. So you're a Walther guy for sure, right?
Yeah. Like, and they didn't have to pay me to say that.
Right.
I just love them.
Yeah.
It was my first handgun, and it's been I don't think I've bought any new handguns except for the Glock 43X. Is the only new handgun I've ever bought that wasn't a Walther.
Oh, okay. You know, the funny thing, like my story with Walther, and obviously they do sponsor the show. So so that means, technically they give us money to say nice things about them.
Yeah.
But I've always heard of them. They're cool guns. Like, of course, growing up, James Bond, PPK, that kind of stuff. But even getting into the gun world, a lot of my friends that did competition and stuff like that, or I found that friends who were trigger snobs, just that kind of thing.
That's me. I'm a trigger snob.
Yeah, they had Walthers, but when I started doing stuff with Walther, I didn't have one. Really? Well, actually, I had one. I had one that my friend Walter from Safety Harbor Firearms gave me. It's a Bullpup 22, which I still have because I collect
the G22.
Yes.
Those are so cool.
Yeah. Do you have one?
I don't, and I really have been trying to get one, and every time they come up at auction, I miss them.
Yeah. So he just gave me one because he apparently didn't like it. So I was like, oh, Walter just giving me a gun, but he knew I liked bullpups, so he gave it to me. I don't know. I think he might regret that a little bit that he gave it to me. I think it's cool.
They're really cool. I've never felt the trigger on one.
Oh, okay. So aren't you in Florida?
Yeah.
You are in Florida, right? Yeah. You got to come. You got to come by and do some shooting or something with us sometime.
Sure.
And I'll break out my bullpup collection.
I'll bring some of my bullpup collection.
Yeah, we'll do.
We got to figure out what I have that you don't. We'll bring them all together.
Yeah. We could probably. Okay, let's see. What bullpups do you have?
I've got the F2000. I've got
one of those. Okay.
You have a Gen 1 with the optic?
No, I don't think mine has no, mine doesn't have that big optic on it. No.
Yeah, that's the OG. So you got to try that. I've got a M17S. The OG M17S, and I've got the Bushmaster, the Gwyn pistol. That funky thing that sits up on your.
Oh, the arm pistol.
Yeah.
Oh my God, I want an arm pistol so bad.
Have you shot one?
Yeah, I have. We've got at least one or two videos because Walter has an arm pistol, but he won't sell it to me.
Yeah, he has one of the other versions. There's two main types. I mean, there's a bunch of different subtypes, but I have the other one, the other main type.
Oh, okay.
Top charging and doesn't really work as good.
Okay, I've got to see yours versus his. Okay, yeah, that's cool. I would like to get one of those.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. And you know what? I can't remember. I've got one or two others. But,
okay.
But yeah, that's the main.
Do you have a Styrog?
At the shop we've got one. Mm-hmm. But I don't own one.
Okay.
I want one.
Yeah.
But I'm very particular. All of my stuff has to be OG. Like I wanted an F2000 for the longest, and I wouldn't I wouldn't sell. I wouldn't settle on one until I got the very first one. And so the AUG, I need to have the one with the built-in optic. That's my thing about it.
Oh, so though okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got a more modern Steyr AUG. It's OD green, all that kind. It's really nice. I bought it and then I don't think I've ever done a video with it. No, yeah, Lola just yeah. That was a very bitter nope from Lola. If anyone, I don't know if anyone heard that. Very bitter nope from Lola. Yeah, I
Well,
think.
maybe we can do one where you introduce me, a bullpup fanatic, to the AUG.
Yeah,
Because
yeah.
I've never really, I shot one round out of one, so I've never really
Mhm.
had an experience with them.
Yeah, they're.
The
I
only
think.
experience I've had.
Yeah, I think they're cool. I think mine takes regular magazines because I think a bunch of Styrogs have like specific magazines you need to use
Mhm.
on it and stuff like that. The FS2000 is also. I've actually never done a video on the FS2000 either.
Yeah.
And
FS2000 is a really interesting gun. Like, the way it handles is just very unique.
yeah,
It's huge. The
yeah,
thing is
it's like a boat.
colossal.
Yeah, it's like a
It's a
yacht.
boat, but it weighs nothing.
Yeah, it
It's
is.
like
Yeah,
air. It's so weird. You're holding this huge thing, and then you're just like, it's like it's gonna float away.
yeah,
It's
yeah.
it's really
It's really cool. I think it's a cool gun. A lot of people think it's probably ugly. I came close to buying them in the past, but people want typically a lot of money for it. But there's one of the guys, Special K. I don't know if he's in the chat out there, but he had one and he sold it to me, gave me a pretty good price on it. So
yeah.
I'm glad that's in the collection. And I have some other. I have like a bullpup shotgun that I can't remember from the 80s or something like that. I can never remember what the name of that thing is.
Do you have the OG M17S?
No, I have
Yeah.
the
The K&M one?
yeah, I have the K&M. I have a
Yeah.
308
You gotta
version of
shoot
that.
the OG one. That's
Huh?
it's the you gotta shoot my OG one.
Oh,
It's
okay.
shockingly good.
It
It's like,
is.
you look
Okay.
at that gun, the build construction miserable on the OG ones from,
Mhm.
the 80s and 90s.
Mhm.
Looks so bad, looks so junky, and you hold it in your hand and it feels kind of crappy. And then you
Mhm.
shoot it and it's like, oh my God, this trigger is so crisp. The
Mhm.
thing doesn't move, it stays so linear. And it just works amazing. And it's very ambidextrous. It's not really ambidextrous, but
Mhm.
it's shockingly, shockingly you're able to, the ergonomics are very good.
Mhm.
And I mean, I got it for like $400.
Mhm.
I think those things are
Oh.
unbelievably
Oh, that's cool.
underappreciated.
Yeah, I
Yeah.
would do you probably don't see them too often now, right?
They pop up. They pop up and nobody knows about them. I might have just
Oh.
messed that up, but
Yeah.
I
If one
generally
pops
see,
up for $400, you
yeah,
know, let
yeah.
me know, man. Let me
They go
know.
low. They sell for low. The
Yeah.
originals.
I would totally get one. I want to have like as many bullpups as I can get. That so I've had bullpup kits, and
Mhm.
we've got some bullpup kits and stuff like that. And I've done, but what I try to collect is like actual bullpups. I do
Right.
have a Century Arms AK-74 bullpup that
Yeah,
maybe I think they built it as a kit, so it wasn't like someone got it and then made it into it. I
yeah.
think Century Arms turned it into a bullpup, and mine works great.
No,
I
I've
heard,
got a Century AK-74, and I've seen some that don't work, but
you've got the
mine works.
bullpup also.
No, not the bullpup, just a Century M74. But it
Oh, okay.
runs like a treat, and it shoots good, and it's
Yeah.
accurate.
Oh,
I took it out to 200 yards, and the thing was tight.
that would
And
be
a lot
cool
of
for us
people,
to do a video on right there, because you've got like what it
yeah,
should
yeah,
look
the
like, and then I
normal.
have the sacrilege.
You know what? I bought that one. I
Uh-huh.
got it for $350, and it was at a pawn shop, spray painted gold. And I
Awesome.
bought it, and I took it home. I hit it with brake cleaner, and the spray paint just melted off. And then I hit
Mhm.
it with a good Russian black paint, and,
Mhm.
and now the thing, I shoot it all the time, and it's fantastic.
Yeah, yeah, that's a good way to get some. You used to be able to find good deals at pawn shops. I don't know, like once pawn shops started getting on the internet or whatever and getting too crazy on the internet,
They found Gunbroker.
yeah, it's gotten crazy. Like when you go to a pawn shop and they pull up Gunbroker, it's like
Yeah, you're
really,
like,
really,
why did I come
dude.
here? Yeah.
Yeah, waste of time right now.
All right, I'll just go there, and then I don't have to talk to you.
Yeah,
Or smell
exactly.
you.
Yeah, so that actually, but because there was a time, especially when I first started, I used to go to pawn shops all the time looking for deals and stuff like that.
I
You
still
know?
do it. Whenever I
Yeah.
go on a road trip, I plot like any pawn shop that I can do less than 10 minutes out of the way. I stop by, and it's like, it used to be like 1 in 4 you'd like find something.
Mm-hmm.
You find something cool that was like rare or something like that. But now it's like 1 in 20 you find something.
Yeah.
And it's either you find something cool and rare and it's disgustingly priced, or you actually find this a good deal.
Yeah. 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 I should probably get back into doing it more. I just
It's
got
a hobby.
like, yeah.
How I view it.
It's fun to do it. I just got turned off by a bunch of pawn shops and crap that they were getting into, and I was like, okay.
Yeah.
You know,
I have one pawn shop that's nearby here
mm-hmm.
that I've had a relationship with this guy for, since I was 18, and I would go in and I'd look at stuff. And we built up a friendship. And so what it is I go in every other week, and I don't even look at what's up. I just say, "Do you have anything for me?" And specifically, if he gets something that's unbelievably weird and bizarre that like no one would even know what it is, he puts it aside.
Yeah,
and
that's
so
cool.
Last time I went in, he walked out and he had the gun over his head, so like I couldn't see the model or anything. And he was just like, he just came out like this. And I was like, "That's a Grendel P30." And he goes, "Yep." And then he just put it on the table and slid it over to me.
Oh, nice. Okay.
Because he was like, "I knew you'd know exactly what it was."
Yeah.
And I've been those are my 2 collection interests. Well, I guess I have 3. Guns made in Florida, guns made in France, and bullpups. Those are my big, my big interest.
Okay. Yeah, that's how I got my Daewoo. I have a Daewoo. What is it? Max? Is it a Max 2? Yeah.
Oh, it's really nice.
Yeah, and I got
it. A DR200, and it, the band stock. I couldn't sit with it. I let my buddy wanted it. I let him have it. But I really want one of those like you got.
Yeah, I got that just because people know I like weird stuff, and a friend of mine at the time was working at a gun store, and someone brought it in there for, I don't know what they gave that guy, $200 or something, $300. And so my friend was like, "I put this aside for you because I know how you are," and I think I maybe paid $350 or I don't know, or whatever it was he paid for it. And I've done some videos, and then I bump into the guy who owned it before. He's like, "Yeah, you have my gun." I was like, "No, I don't. I got my gun." He's like, "Yeah, I'd like to see the gun again." I was like, "No." Yeah, it was cool.
Guy?
No, no, he wasn't really that old. He just, it's one of these weird things. Like, for me, I buy weird guns and I keep them. Now, other guns I may sell. Like, if I'm trying to, if there's some cool bullpup or something that I'm trying to get, which typically bullpups are expensive, I will sell guns that I have, for that purpose. So, I guess other people get into that too, and they're like, I had this for a long time, or it really doesn't. Then they might later on regret it. So,
right. Yeah, that's one thing I've the only time I really sell a gun is if it's a duplicate, or the price has just gotten so out of control that it's just clearly that somebody else wants it more than me.
Yeah.
And at the beginning of this pandemic, well, there's a reason I've only got one AR now.
Yeah. I sold some guns. Going into this. You know, that's the whole thing. You buy low, you sell high.
Yep. But yeah, no, like you said, there's been times that I had an Enfield number 4 Mark II that was just the best shooting Enfield I'd ever seen. And there was a French Moss 44 coming up for auction. And at that time I was like 23. I didn't really have, I couldn't afford to buy another gun. So I went to there was a gun show that weekend and I just sold it, and I lost money on it. But I sold it, got the other gun. And I mean, I love that gun. That's still one of the high points of my collection, the 44, but I still go back and I'm like, like, I can't believe I took a loss on that Enfield.
Yeah. Maybe I'm sure you'll get a chance to get back that Enfield.
No, I got another one right there.
Oh, you do? Okay.
But it's not that one. You know what I mean?
It's not that. Yeah. Let's see. There's a whole bunch of things going in here, and I know we are going to talk about the ATF thing, but weirdly we got into talking about guns. It's so crazy.
Yeah, can you imagine? It's funny. Cool. I'm a gun guy, really, and whenever I go on a podcast, no one ever lets me talk about guns. So I'm kind of excited.
Yeah. I mean, I try to keep the conversation natural and stuff like that. That's the thing. So, like the first time you came on the show, I remember. I don't think we talked that much specifically about guns, did we? We
No,
didn't. We obviously
no,
didn't.
yeah, there was a lot of news going on, and it was a crazy week
Yeah,
then.
yeah.
Yeah.
And I think we'd really just met each other out in Texas.
Hmm. Yep, yep.
So yeah, we probably didn't wind up doing that. But yeah,
I
we've.
brought my arm pistol to that shoot
I
when
never
we were
saw
there
that.
because we were at the range on the opposite times.
Oh,
We were
okay.
never there together. No.
Yeah. Oh, okay. Okay. I don't know. I don't think I ever went to the range.
Oh well, that would also do.
Yeah, I don't always, you might think that I try to shoot every single chance I get. I don't necessarily do it. When there's events and things like that going on where there's a bunch of gun guys, I would rather spend my time talking to those gun people than shooting.
Right.
Unless there's something really crazy like, hey, you have to shoot this just so you could say that you shot it before, kind of a thing going on. And I think especially with everything that's happening now with a lot of the COVID nonsense that's going on, yeah, it was cool to get out at that show and see people I haven't seen in a while.
For sure. Have
And
you ever
that's
shot
mhm.
3D printed guns?
Have I ever shot? No. Other than rapid prototypes or something like that, I don't think so. I
Yeah.
know we've got some stuff we're working on.
All right, Pew. I'm gonna make
Hmm.
sure to bring some stuff to the
Yeah,
Iraq Veterans
yeah.
Patrol.
I see Pew out there. We're working on some stuff with him that
Yeah,
we
I
should
heard
be
about
able.
that.
Yeah, that we should be able to do some stuff. And when I say
But
we,
if we're at that range and you're not shooting, I'm
hmm
gonna I'm just gonna bring a 3D printed gun
hmm
just to get you that excuse to get you out of the line,
yeah,
and maybe
that's
then you'll get some
yeah, that's like my worst nightmare. What you just said, right? That's my
Yeah,
worst
well,
nightmare. Everyone like, and I mean, I'm not in the gun world. I'm not even like close to being a celebrity. But when I go places and everyone wants me to shoot their gun,
yeah.
it's kind of painful. And I know that to some people, like, what? What are you talking about? It's because it's like, okay, well, no, shoot my gun. No, shoot my gun. No, shoot mine.
Oh yeah, can you
Yeah.
imagine? Can you guys? Can you just imagine if everyone just wanted you to shoot their gun? It would just be
It's
awful.
some
It's just
things in life
terrible.
sound great. Some things in life sound great till that happens to you. Ask Lola if I go to a range somewhere. The last time I went to a range to do something, and I think I actually put out a video of. I think that there's a video we have like 7 minutes of just shooting machine guns, and that's a friend of mine's range. And I went there, and it was the same thing. And people were like, oh, so check this out, check this out. You know,
All right, never mind. You can't shoot my thing.
Huh?
You're
No,
gonna
it's cool.
not shoot
No,
a 3D
no, no,
printed gun.
no. That's
No,
all
you
right.
can't
No,
shoot it.
no, that's all
No,
right.
I'll
It's
tell
cool.
you. You're
Okay.
not allowed anymore.
Okay. All right. Good. No, it does. Listen. Here's why I feel bad about it, because
Backpedaling.
you can't shoot everyone's gun. Everyone wants you to. Like, I get it, man. I'm not trying to complain about this at all.
It only takes like 5 seconds to go, and like I've been there. I've been at the line, and I might not get recognized as much as you, but I've been
Hmm.
at the shooting line, and everyone's like, "Hey, try this one."
Hmm.
And you know what I do? I take
Hmm.
it. I go, bang, bang, and then I go, "Wow, that's awesome, man!" And you hand it back.
You see,
Like,
I'm not capable of that.
why not?
You're an evil lawyer. So you could just be, in that, like, I'm the kind of person. This happens to me at SHOT Show and NRA when we're walking around and we're supposed to have a meeting somewhere. So Lola's like, hey, you're supposed to go see these people at this time. And she gets mad every time I stop somewhere, because if I stop and I talk to someone, I engage in that thing. So if someone shows me a gun, I'm like, oh, so where'd you get this? Oh,
So
how
it's a
long?
self-control
Yeah, it
problem.
gets into a whole long thing. Yeah, it's tough. It's tough. I would rather, listen, I do videos shooting people's guns all the time. That's like one of the number one places that we get guns from. But I like to have more time to, like, absorb
Well, I mean,
that thing.
ideally, you want to learn the gun and like really figure
Yeah,
out whether it's good or bad or everything. But
yeah,
when you're shooting a social thing, like to me that like social shooting is, hey, I want you to experience my gun, and so then I'm
yeah.
thinking, okay, We just
but that
experience it quick.
yeah, but that's a
And
slam. That's a slam bam. Thank you, ma'am. See, what you're saying is basically like so. This is why I
no
think
one's gonna be upset if you take 2 shots, you hit the target, and it's like, damn, that was good. I like
yeah,
that. No
but
one's
that's
gonna say
when.
anything.
Well, that's kind of like when they say your eyes are too big for your stomach, right? Because so imagine as a dude, we probably
Right.
think, man, if I was Brad Pitt sexy, or Denzel Washington in his heyday, you know, if I was that sexy, I would get all the ladies. You know what? That is gonna get uh, real tough for you. It's not that you don't enjoy it, but you can't bang every single lady in the world. There isn't enough time to enjoy that experience, right? So for me, I like to enjoy the experience. I like to see, okay, what is this gun? Where did it come from? Where'd you get it from? Did you, was it passed down in your family? Why do you like this kind of stuff? Why'd you put this on there? That's how. So for me to just go bang bang, okay,
Yeah.
that's not really enjoying it.
Well, you don't
I don't
sigh
think.
and hand it back to them.
Huh?
You go bang bang, and you go, wow, man, this is great. I like the trigger, or
That's
this is
not.
like, this is good.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know. I always feel guilty doing that. I always feel like
I understand.
I'm
I
being
get your
very
point.
rude. I'm being
Yeah.
very rude to people, and they're probably like, "Oh, that guy's such an asshole. He thinks he's all of that. My gun's not good enough for him. He couldn't just shoot. He just shot 2 rounds through it." But
Well, it's
this
a
is
lot
my
harder to
this
say all that if you shoot 2 rounds rather than 0 rounds.
yeah. This is I know. This is my mania. What I do is I just try like, oh boy.
You're like, no, I'm scared.
Yeah. The
The
other thing
gunshot,
that the
they're
other thing
loud.
that the other thing that happens to me in the range is if I go to a range and I have a gun, every single person wants to tell me what to do with that gun.
Oh no, that's infuriating.
Okay?
It's infuriating.
Yeah, that also happened to me that day I went to the range. I had a gun. I went out there. I zeroed that gun before I went out there. I had a specific plan. I needed to make a video. Everyone's like, "No, put it up here. No, put it down there. Do this, do that." I'm like,
Yeah.
so
And it comes from a good place, but
yeah.
that is now that I've experienced, and
Hmm.
especially because I'll be out there working on a prototype, right? Something that we just came up with. Q and I work together on a lot of stuff,
Hmm.
and I'll get, oh, is that a hang fire? Oh wait, oh, what you need to do is like, and it's like, bro,
Uh-huh.
let me just shoot it and write it down what happened. Right?
Yeah.
Yeah, they're always wanting. That is a thing that people.
Because every gun guy is a know-it-all.
Right. It's like you literally
Including me.
don't know what's
Including
going on
me.
with this gun because you've never seen one because we just invented it. So
Yeah.
let me just play with it for a minute.
Yeah, yeah.
You know?
And I'm not trying to knock gun guys at all. I love gun guys. I love the gun community. Everyone's awesome. I'm the kind of like this happens to me and Lola when we go on vacation.
Mhm.
Okay, we are on vacation. First of all, I don't personally like ever really actually go on vacation. That's work to me. Lola's dragging me out to go do something because she's like, you're gonna be on vacation with the rest of the family, right?
Mhm.
So to me, that's work now.
Right.
This is family work.
Your boss told you to do it.
Yeah, so now I got to go do that, and at the same time, I have to do my other work, and then Lola has a whole itinerary of things that need to get done.
Mhm.
How's this a vacation? Vacation, I wake up when I want to.
Right.
I eat when I feel like it. I go
What you feel
someplace.
like.
Yeah, I eat what I feel like when I'm not trying to get to a specific place at a certain time. None of that kind of stuff. I want to take my time. So I feel that same way about guns. Anything that I really enjoy, I want to take my time. I want to get to know it. I really want to, I feel like all the stuff I'm into, cars, I'm into cars. I actually drive cars. There's cars that, like for me, I'm struggling to have that car. But because I'm struggling to have that car, I'm gonna use it all the time, drive it and enjoy it. And then I see these dudes who are like, doctors and lawyers and stuff like that, and they have all these badass cars that they put no mileage on.
Right.
You know,
Yeah, I hate that.
there's no
I always hated
scratches,
that with vintage bikes because
huh?
I'm into vintage bikes like
Hmm. Mhm.
old Hondas, and
Oh, okay,
there was
cool.
this guy in Orlando
Hmm.
that had 2 Honda CBXs, the 1006 cylinders. This is like one of the baddest bikes that's ever existed.
Hmm.
0 miles on it.
Yeah.
I'm like, brother, it's like, what are you doing? You know, like you spent all that money, and then you're gonna just look at it.
Yeah.
You know, that's not
Yeah.
the bike deserves to go. You know what I mean? And so I'm angry at every single person because now I understand it's a collectible, blah 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 blah. But like, how the hell did that bike go from 1978 to now
No
without one
mileage.
person thinking, I gotta hoon on this thing?
Yeah, just take it around. You know.
Yeah.
Go take it around the block. I don't understand that. I don't understand that. So like I feel like I need to enjoy things and actually it's the same for guns. Even though
Yes,
I
I
have
was about to say,
yeah.
I've met people who like, you know, when I was at that same pawn shop and he was like, oh Matt, you'll love this guy. He collects all the same stuff you do. And he mentioned we're talking about Springfields and stuff, and I'm like, oh, we have the same mark, like that specific mark for Springfield. Oh, I mean, when you shoot it, and I was telling him the trigger's so crisp, and he goes, oh, I don't shoot mine. And I just turned white and goes, like, I was like,
why?
yeah, and he goes, oh, no, just clean them up, put them in the safe.
Yeah, people are collectors, and there's nothing wrong with that. But
No,
I want to enjoy.
man,
I want to enjoy. Huh?
No, that's weird. You know, I don't trust that dude.
No, if you want to be a collector, that's your thing. But I think like for me, if I'm gonna have, so I remember like I had I had like a brand new Audi R8, which is expensive, and it was tough for me to have that car, pay for it, all that kind of stuff. And people were mad at me because I drove it all the time. Like there was this guy that was mad at me because I was driving it all.
Paying for it.
Yeah,
Never
he's like, you know, the one thing that's making me mad is that you drive this car all the time. That's disrespectful. And so I was like, so what you're saying to me is you would have a supermodel girlfriend, and you would only have sex with her on the weekends. That's what you're telling me. And he's just looking at me like I'm crazy.
Right.
And I was like, because if I have a supermodel girlfriend, I am tearing that, I'm tearing that down. When it's over, I'm gonna be like, oh, it was fun. You know what I mean? So that's the thing.
That's ridiculous.
And that exact thing happened to me. There was a guy who, like locally, that guy's very wealthy. He actually, the car I had was supposed to be his car. So they had to find a replacement for him. And he put less than 500 miles on that car. He wouldn't even let his kids drive it. You know? And
He's keeping it fresh for you.
Yeah, no. So
you know what I mean for the next guy.
Yeah, for the next person, he was too embarrassed to drive it or anything like that. Meanwhile, mine had, by the time they actually bought it back for me. By the time they bought it back, I had like 26,000 miles on it. It had road rash. And when I would see those guys, because they're like, who the hell is this guy? Because it would all be like doctors and lawyers and big real estate moguls or whatever. And they were like, so what have you done with this thing? I was like, oh, I took this thing off road. I drove it around the country. They're like, why does it have this road rash over it? I was like, oh, I did this. I took that car on Talladega Speedway. I did all kinds of craziness, and they would just look at me like, wow. So this is the thing I always tell people, money is not enough. Like the life is experiencing it. And there's a lot of people that work really hard and they're like, oh, when I retire, I'm going to do this. I'm going to get an RV. I'm going to go on the road and travel the country and do all these things. And a lot of people don't ever get there. They don't ever get there to do that. So life is for living. When you get older in life, of course, you want to make sure you think about your finances and you've got money and stuff. You don't want to be old and sick and tired and, you still have to work hard somehow or whatever. I get that. But you also don't want to get to that point and you didn't really live and enjoy your life in all the phases of it, So that's how I see guns and all those kinds of things. And because I'm into it, it's very difficult for me to just I do really want to get into it and see things. So if I'm doing something like that, that's what I do. If I go, that's my intention. I'm just here to shoot people stuff and talk to them about their things and what do they think, or have them tell me hey, this is what I like about your channel, or this is what I hate.
Right.
Or I saw you were doing this, or I saw you were doing that kind of a thing. But believe it or not, it's like when I'm that shy kind of person at the gun range, that I would rather just talk to people over like trying to shoot. I see other people do that they go and they're trying to shoot every single gun. Or for example, at SHOT Show Media Day, and I know you don't do this, right? You don't really make like gun videos. You're kind of touching a different part of what we all do. But so for example, I've seen this for years.
Still go to Media Day.
Huh?
Still go to Media Day.
You go to Media Day, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so there's guys.
I sometimes write reviews and whatever.
Oh, you do? Okay. So when we go to Media Day, there's guys who are like they're in competition to get 300 videos done at Media Day.
Yeah. Oh, that's stupid.
I'm like,
and I would also see the people at Media Day, like, and it was actually at the Walther booth, and I went, and I was like, I really want to test out this one, and so they were like, they were like, oh, take a mag for each gun, and I was like, okay, and I took all the mags and I put it over to the one. I wanted to shoot. I was running that thing, and I was actually, because they have the target like right up at like 7 yards. That's like the Taekwondo chest. I'm like, who the hell's gonna shoot at that? No, I was shooting at the little flippers all the way at the back because I wanted to run that gun.
You wanted to see what it could do.
Yeah, and the guy. The guy who handed me the mags, the guy who was with me, he goes, oh, so who do you write for? And I'm like, oh, well, I'm kind of freelance, but I mostly do gun law stuff. And he's like,
and give us back our ammo.
No. And he goes, oh, so that's why you can actually shoot it.
Oh, okay.
And I go, what do you mean? And then he points. And like I look over, and there's a guy, and I recognize the guy, and I know that he was a big gun reviewing author. And he's got the gun like this, and he just puts 5 rounds in the little Taekwondo thing, and then puts it down, takes the little USB drive, and walks away.
Yeah.
And I was like, how much of that is there? And he goes, a lot.
Yeah. Well, so I know, so the guys who write for magazines and stuff like that will hate it, but so first of all, those guys hate guys like me. They hate gun YouTubers, so whatever. It's all good. I don't
imagine if people actually could, judge your
Yeah.
Your content for what it's worth rather than where it is.
Yeah, I don't hate them either, but I know exactly how they are, and I have some friends who are gun writers, and I'm pretty sure that they might be cool with me and whatever, but they still feel the same way. But the gun writers hate us because they think what we do is easy and whatever. But really, what I've found is a lot of gun writers, their story is written for them. Mm-hmm. It's pretty much laid out.
No, that's what those little USB drives they give out are.
Yeah.
Like, that's what it is, and that's what I said. Like, he shoots the gun like this, mm-hmm. and then the dude, the handler, they give you a little handler, hands him a USB drive, and he takes it, and then it goes up.
Yeah. Yeah, I want to. There's specific things that I'm interested in, but then my things change of what. Like, I'm just now starting to get into the older guns, right? Mm-hmm. So that's why, like, when you and CNR were on, I think you guys were on at the same time.
Yeah, we've done it a couple times with you.
Yeah, I'm not gonna pretend I know about something that I don't know about. But there's that kind of thing going on. Like, I'm enjoying this whole adventure, the journey, the finding things and exploring it and getting into it. Hey, this is, one day I might wake up one day and I hate bullpups. Yeah.
Possible.
Yeah, it's all possible. But it's part of the, some things are ingrained in you, I think, at a young age. Like, I remember being a kid, living in England, for example, and my dad had a bunch of popular science and popular mechanics magazines and stuff like that, and they had bullpups in them. And I was always fascinated, and those things always kind of seemed like futuristic, and it just, and then you grow up, you see it in movies and all that kind of stuff. So it's this ingrained thing in you that you probably will never let go of. But to me, this is all like a journey, and that's what I'm. So if I'm at SHOT Show, whether I'm at Media Day or walking around on the floor, you'll see me sometimes. People will walk by me several times, and I'm just there for an hour,
right,
talking to the people in the booth, trying to find out, like, how do you guys make this thing? Why?
Right.
Who likes this? Who buys this? Why do they? What's the? There's all these questions and things like that I have. Lola gets mad. She walks off. She goes and does something. She goes like, "You're still doing this nonsense," you know. But that's kind of like that's always been me. So, um, I'm really genuinely into this,
Right.
and it's obviously not for the money. I don't want to make anyone think that that I'm broke or anything like that or suffering, but it's not for the money because every day this thing that I do that I put a lot of energy into, every day YouTube and other platforms figure out some way to take something away from me.
Hmm.
You know, and that's like the tough part of this whole thing, I think. That we've got those guys against us. We kind of have we're against our own selves. We're kind of when things are happening like that, it's a crabs in the barrel situation. People, start to have that scarcity mentality of, oh, only so many people are going to be able to do this or do that or whatever, and all of that takes the fun away from it for me. And I want to have fun. I want to have the guns that I want to have and shoot the things I want to shoot, and learn things and take my time and figure it out for myself and all that. So
Yeah.
yeah, which is weird, and I don't know if you ever face this, but there's a lot of people. There's a lot of people when I first started doing this. They didn't necessarily think that I was for reals or genuine, like being a gun guy, if you know what I mean. They're like, oh, is this guy a plant?
Yeah,
Is
they
he here?
always call everybody a plant, though.
Yeah,
Everybody knew.
yeah. Is he here to infiltrate us?
Yeah, there's
And
people were calling me that, and still are
yeah,
sometimes. They're like,
yeah.
"Oh, he's just," and they like come up with this conspiracy that, "Oh, he's copying this from here and just do it. It's just changing it. Just be subversive." Like,
Yeah, but
and like somebody was like,
if someone takes the time to talk to you, you have passion about this. You're for real.
"Oh, for sure. No, I mean,
Hmm.
like it's just what I've devoted my
Hmm.
stupid life to."
Yeah,
So,
no, it's not a stupid life at all. Okay, let me get to some comments, and then I'll let you actually talk about some stuff. Armament and
right.
Axis gave us some money here. Let's do that.
Money, 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 money.
He wants to know what's on your shirt. Hold on, let's see. What is this? Gun Bunny. Nice. Whose shirt is? Who makes that shirt?
It's an FPC shirt.
Oh, it is. Okay, cool. All right. Very nice, very nice. I've never, you know what? I've never looked at FPC merch or anything like that.
Got a
So
lot of cool shirts.
yeah, that's a nice one. I would totally go for that. And John Crump gave us some money, so let's.
Money, 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 money.
He says Hank is doing a live stream from the IV 8888 range day next weekend. No, I'm not. Probably Crump is.
Maybe he'll
So,
find you and you'll be on it.
yeah, I don't even know. You know,
So you have
I
to
don't.
choose: are you going to hide from guns, or are you going to hide from Crump? Which one are you going to hide from?
Oh, I'm definitely hiding from Crump, man, for sure. Yeah, yeah. Crump's gonna have a tough time finding me. Yeah. Let me see. Okay, there's a bunch of. We're doing a lot of talking here, so.
Yeah, it's a
Uh,
talk show, isn't it?
yeah. But I think some people have some questions. I want to go back. I think. Let's see. Who has some things here? The end is near. What is he saying here? Hank has taken so many viewer comments this time. He won't get a word in for himself. Oh well.
Well,
uh.
we blew that out of the water.
Yeah, let me see. But there was a question he had that I did want to ask you here. Let's see if we can go. And by the way, shout out to Sanctuary Counties. I see Sanctuary Counties out there. He's doing a lot of good work. You guys work together? Have you done anything? Do you know Sanctuary Counties?
No, I haven't met him.
Oh, okay. All right. I got to figure out a way to put you guys together. He's
Yeah,
running
that'd
the
be cool.
site that's keeping everyone appraised of all the different counties around the country that are Second Amendment sanctuaries.
Oh, that'd be interesting.
Yeah, it would be great to see you. I thought it's my bad. I thought you guys were maybe already doing some stuff together. So we got to figure out how to put that together. Let me see here. Yeah, sanctuary counties. You need to figure out a way to exchange info here. Maybe Lola.
You can DM my twatter. My twatter, you can DM it.
Okay, let me see. Where was that comment from? Oh, I gotta go way back. Sir Black Guy says it's really tempting to sell my high point for a rare breed FRT 15. Don't do it. I'll
That's
never.
also in Florida.
Oh, huh?
River, they're in Orlando.
Oh, okay. Okay. I'll never sell my high point.
I got
Uh,
another one recently.
yeah. Let me see. Where is that comment? There was something that oh, here we go. The end is near says I am getting yelled at here on YouTube due to Fuddbusters because I had said I thought he was going to help with the auto key card and some dude keeps trolling my comments. There you go.
I mean, I don't
What's
know about
going
getting trolled.
what's going on with the auto key card thing? Is there
I offered my help. I've had a few conversations with the guy.
Mhm.
It, you know, I don't exactly know what the plan is, but yeah, no, there's been a lot of telephones. Of course, like there's an
Okay.
ongoing criminal case. I can't really say much,
Yes. Okay, I understand.
but
Okay.
they know that they know I've been in contact with them, and they know that I'm sitting here willing to help.
Mhm. Yeah. Listen, sometimes things don't work behind the scenes as fast as you guys think they will or should.
Yeah,
You know.
it's a cumbersome and slow moving machine.
Yeah.
Um,
Yeah.
yeah, I
Yeah.
I offered to do it for extremely reasonable right
Mhm.
levels.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
the,
This. Yeah.
there's other there's like at this point there may be like 5 lawyers involved. Like I don't even quite understand what's going on myself. All I the last thing I said was, well, hey, I'm here to do literally anything
Mhm.
that I can possibly help with. So,
Mhm. John Crump says his lawyer quit. So I don't know exactly what's going on with that. So listen,
I
if
don't either.
I don't want to. Yeah, this is probably a situation that we don't want to
You
talk
know,
too much about. So
yeah,
we,
and I
you
literally
know,
don't know. I just
yeah.
like that's. I mean, I can say what I said, which is I was like,
Mhm.
hey, you can my hat. Here it is. It's in the arena. If you want it,
Mhm. Yeah.
there.
Yeah.
Yep.
Exactly. Enough
But I
said. Enough
didn't,
said.
my paws are off the whole. No paws in the pie at this
Yeah.
point.
Yeah. Enough said. Lots of times there's complicated reasons why people don't
Yeah.
want to do things. Brian Woodward he gave us some money here. He doesn't
Money,
have a
money,
comment,
money, money,
but
Thanks, Brian.
money.
we're gonna thank him for that. And Sanctuary County says Fuddbusters is an awesome name.
Thank you.
So
No
so
sanctuary counties. I like what I said.
yeah, I think you guys should definitely get together. That's one of the reasons why I do this podcast. We'll figure out something. He's been on the show. You're obviously here. Maybe I can get Lola to do an
I am here.
email exchange or something like that
I'm right here.
with you guys. Yeah, right here. I see you. I see you. I see you. If
I
I
heard
see
Lola
you, it's
laughing.
gonna be I. Yeah, if I see you, it's gonna be I see you. You hear that line? Are you into hip hop music at all? I don't know.
Old school.
Old school stuff. Yeah, you don't remember that? When I see you, it's gonna be
Yeah,
a
it's
I
gonna be
see you.
in the
Yeah.
yeah.
Oh boy. Yeah. So listen. In relation, let's try to let's. This is your fault. This is not my.
What do I
No,
do?
it's your fault. No,
I mean,
it's
maybe
my
it's my
fault.
fault.
It's my
I
fault.
don't know.
Yeah, it's
I'm
all
just
me.
here,
It's
man.
all me. Yeah. 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 Some people I have too much fun like hanging out with and talking to, so it's tough to get to the people's business.
Right.
So,
But hey,
um,
people who are like in the car on the drive or whatever, like when I'm on a long drive, the one thing that I love most in a podcast is just,
mhm.
banter and jiving and stuff like that.
Yeah. Sanctuary County says, "What's beef?" Yeah,
Yeah,
that's right. That's right. Oh, Lola said Matt started it by talking about bullpups.
yeah, I did.
Yeah.
So
So,
again, too.
yeah. So here, let me tell you this. So this is in relation to the whole ATF thing.
Right.
Last year, this has been actually I think this has been going on for longer than a year. Walter from Safety Harbor Firearms. I don't know if you ever met Walter or
No,
been on
you
the show.
keep saying that we're gonna meet, but then
Okay.
it's because I haven't come out to Gainesville yet. So
Yeah, well he's in
he's on the
Safety
West
Harbor.
Coast.
Yeah, he's in Safety Harbor. So, you know what? Maybe if you want to, you can go to Safety Harbor and meet up with him at any time, man. You know, the
Yeah, that'd
shop's
be game.
always, yeah, the
Yeah.
shop's always open. They make some cool things there, but Walter makes a 50 BMG upper that
Yeah.
you could put on an AR-15 lower. So the ATF said, "Hey, you got to serialize that thing." This happened a while back.
I remember
Um,
that.
you know, he fought it. He stopped making them. He got lawyers and all that kind of stuff, and went out there, and then the ATF was like, no, you still have to do it. It wound up just being like an expensive thing, and he was like, look, I can't, I don't necessarily have the money here uh to keep fighting this thing. But that's all kind of coming back now, right? Now the
Mhm.
ATF really wants the ability to make anything that they so deem into a receiver or firearm,
Right.
etc. Right? So that's my
Yeah,
way of segueing into this.
for sure. So it's a tremendous nightmare. Of course, we're talking about ETF attempting to redraw the definition of frame or receiver. There's a lot of other things that are in that rulemaking,
Mm-hmm.
such as suddenly deciding that suppressors have a frame or receiver, which is
Mm-hmm.
not necessarily terribly problematic, but it
Mm-hmm.
is just odd
Mm-hmm.
because nothing really gives them the power to do that.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like they're reaching very hard. It seems to be very clear that the ATF as an agency itself, even before the administration change, was very interesting in clamping down on 80% and on pistol braces, right?
Yeah.
So we
Mm-hmm.
haven't seen them really move on pistol braces yet, but
No.
this is the 80% deal. And
Mm-hmm.
they've done this, in my opinion, in the most ham-fisted way that they possibly could have.
Mm-hmm.
And like, it's hard for me not to smile because the way they've gone about with this redefinition is just absolutely pants on head ridiculous.
Is that so? Are you smiling because it's a good thing, and as a lawyer, it's a slam dunk to rebuke this stuff, or are
No,
you
I'm
just
smiling
smiling
because
because it's retarded?
this is like, yeah, it's this is
Mm-hmm.
clown world shit, you know.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's why I was smiling. It's like, wow, they
Mm-hmm.
actually went and did
Yeah.
it. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, so it's what here. My worry was that they'd say clearly, right? I thought the worst case scenario would be if they were like, oh well, anything that needs less than like X amount of machining time
Mm-hmm.
to become a framer receiver is a
Mm-hmm.
framer receiver, and that would
Okay.
be a total nightmare. But now
Mm-hmm.
what they've gone and done and said, well, absolutely anything could be the framer receiver. And the only way you can know if it is the framer receiver is if we've seen it and we told you it is. Oh, and also, if it's not done yet, but you can kind of tell that it might be a gun part in the future, it's also a framer receiver.
Yeah. So everything is a frame or a receiver because they're trying to get rid of people making their own things, and then also the accessory. I don't feel it's a loophole, but what they feel is a loophole, right? By
Right.
companies saying that, hey, we're making accessories, so we don't have to go to you,
Right.
which is
And it's not a
foreshadowing what's
loophole.
gonna, huh?
Yeah. It's not a loophole. It's ridiculous.
No, it's not.
Uh,
It's not.
the law
I don't
says
think
what
it
it
is.
says.
Yeah.
And the thing is, they have the power under the law to interpret terms of the law.
Mm-hmm.
So they do have the power to interpret the word frame or receiver. They don't have the power to change it to frame or receiver or any other part that could possibly hold any other part or an incomplete version of that.
Mm-hmm.
That is completely beyond the bounds of their power. And so I
It's
do think,
blanket. It's leaving
yes,
zero things that are outside of the realm, right?
right. But it's also like, you have to remember, their only job that they can possibly do is define that word,
Mm-hmm.
right? And they previously had a definition. But now what they've done is deleted the definition and
Mm-hmm.
replaced it with this huge paragraph and then more terms that they then defined in separate paragraphs. Like, that's not defining a term.
Mm-hmm.
That's making a law. And
Mm-hmm.
they don't get to do that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. So the weirdest part of this whole thing for me, and I've been looking forward to talking to you about this, is it seems like what they're saying is that people who already have these things, so Biden comes out, makes this statement, right? Like, we're going after the ghost guns. All right? There's all these ghost guns out there doing bad, horrible, terrible things, destroying the nation. And then, so the ATF puts this out, but in there, did you see the part of it where I think someone said it was on page 21, where it's like, oh, we're not saying people can't make their own guns. So
No, and they actually say that multiple times.
right.
So what they're trying to do with homemade firearms is, one, it's clear that the administration is obsessed with polymer 80s. They're trying to destroy polymer 80. They want to nuke polymer 80. Two, they're wanting to go after, as they always do, the most accessible, affordable options, right, that are popular. So they really didn't touch 3D printing. Okay, and that tells you something. And it's either that they, have the bit of wherewithal to realize that they don't have the power to, or I don't know, maybe some other reason.
I mean, so you feel like they didn't really touch. I mean, they did definitely mention 3D printing, right?
The only thing that it does with respect to 3D printing is that I can tell, right? And I'm not the ATF, but that I can really see is that if a FFL, and they also have this imaginary concern that like FFLs are like transferring all of these like ghost, transferring all
without serializing them.
Right. Well, and you don't have to. You don't have to. But
what is all that noise? What is all that noise, people?
All right, it's over.
Oh, baby face. Okay, baby face. I'm sitting outside his house.
Okay.
Yeah. Sorry about that. Okay.
I mean, how many FFLs have you seen where they just had a bunch of, completed polymer 80s and 3D?
They don't want your guns that you built.
No, they're freaked out, and also it's worth more as a parts kit. So like nobody does this.
Yeah.
But they spend pages explaining that we have to do this because there's all of these pawn shops and gun shops that are buying privately made firearms and then reselling them.
And they don't know the law. They don't know. They don't understand that if they did something like that, it would have to be serialized. I mean, they don't want it. I mean, but you understand what I like. I know exactly what you're going to say. You're right. If I built a gun, because I've seen you say this, I looked at your Fuddbusters about this. Before I get in trouble, I did see and hear you, sir. Like if I could build a gun for myself. If I want to sell it, I could sell it. I don't have to serialize it.
Right.
But if why are they thinking that FFLs want to get into that game? They don't.
They're just making it up.
Yeah, they don't want to get into that.
It's legal to do, but it's also legal to sell a gun that was made before 1968, which doesn't have a serial number either. Right? And there's a specific procedure you do. You put NSN in your bound book. And that's the identifying characteristic. So it doesn't make any damn lick of difference. It doesn't at all. But you're right. Most FFLs are FUDs, and they will think that they can't do that, and they just won't. I mean, like it's just not a real problem. I'm sure it's happened, but they're making up all this crap to justify. So it's like that's why we have to hit the entire rule with a hammer because of our imagination. It's basically what they're saying.
So your interpretation is that they're not actually going after the person who has one already, right? I'm just trying to get how you see it. I'm trying to get some free legal advice. They're wanting to
choke them out.
Okay,
they're wanting to choke these out.
But here's the thing. Here's the thing that's kind of like the crux of the problem, right? So lots of gun guys, which I understand where they're coming from on this. They're like, look, I have 100 80%ers already. And they're not serialized. I could build them all I want to. This stuff doesn't say I need to do anything, so I don't care about this. Okay? Right. And because this seems to be saying the manufacturers making these going forward have to serialize them, and whatever they have on hand before they sell it, they need to serialize it. And then obviously, as we're talking about here, any FFLs or any other licensees that get this stuff have to serialize them or whatever, right? Or if you're a gunsmith, you have to, if you get this and you work on it, you have to serialize it. So there's a lot of people feeling like, I'm kind of grandfathered in. I'm just going to go right. If I don't have it, I'll go right now and buy it before this becomes a rule. So first of all, I want to know, is that accurate from what you're seeing? Pretty much. Okay.
And it's a huge problem when people feel placated, right? Because they've already got their stuff. What about your kids? Like, come on. And that's what happened in '86 with the machine gun. Everyone was like, well, I already got my machine gun. It's just going to make the price go up. And it did.
Yeah, but
Yeah,
they also didn't stop there, and so that's the
right.
dangerous thing. Like if we agree to this and we let them feel like they could just make laws and make up rules or whatever nonsense it is they're trying to do, then they're going to eventually come for that. The whole intention of this, the whole
Right.
stated intention is to come for these things, right?
Well,
All
so
of
here's
them.
the purpose. Here's the mechanism that I'm seeing here. They believe that, like, the 80% AR lowers and the Armored 80s are like the big ticket items, which they probably are, to be
Mhm.
fair.
Mhm.
And so what they think they can do is make it so that anytime one of those hits an FFL, it has to be serialized. And I think you might have saw in there, it does say
Mhm.
that
Mhm.
if you're an FFL and you get a PMF, you have to put a special serial number that ties it to your shop so
Mhm.
that they can go back and run a trace if they ever recover the gun. And by the
Mhm.
way, how many unsolved crimes do we have to deal with that aren't simple possession of a gun,
Mhm.
where we have the gun
Mhm.
and a trace is going to help us?
Mhm.
No,
Yeah. Yeah,
it's
it's not
stupid.
an
It's
issue.
absurd.
It's not an issue.
Yeah, but
Mhm.
so check it out. So now they're going to have it to where any of these going forward that hit an FFL are going to get serialized,
Mhm.
and then they're going to shut the factories off. So the
Mhm.
idea is that eventually, 2 or 3 generations down the line, all of the guys like you were saying, who have 100 of them and they don't care. Well, eventually they're gonna pass through their estate and they're gonna go to an auction house and the auction house FFL is gonna serialize them all and then it's gonna be gone. They're gonna be
Mhm.
done. They're gonna be extinct
Mhm.
eventually. That's what they want to do.
Mhm. Yeah. Um, do you think it's really going to play itself out like that? That you think that at some
You
point
let them do
here,
it.
huh?
If you let them do it,
No, what I'm saying is, do you think that they will just say, we'll just leave it at that? Hey, these things will eventually hit FFLs and they'll get serialized or destroyed or whatever. Or the reality is that won't happen. There's going to be a lot of stuff that doesn't hit it.
right?
So, and then they'll come to the realization that they've already come to, that there's I don't know, millions and millions of these out there. And yeah, you know what? If you have this, you got to serialize it.
So at that point, I think that they push for a legislative answer.
Mhm.
I think
Okay.
they try to change the law.
Okay.
And like I think this rule is them testing the absolute outer
Mhm.
bitter bleeding edge of what even like of
Mhm.
what like a even slightly anti-gun judge would
Mhm.
accept.
Mhm.
They're gonna just see if they can get away with it. That's all they're doing. They went too far. No question about it. If you ask me, they went too far. They're actually making law. This is a legislative rulemaking. It is not an interpretive rulemaking.
Mhm.
They should not be allowed to do it. And they're going to see if they get slapped or not. And if they
Mhm.
don't, you can bet your bottom dollar they're going to do it again. Because I can tell you what the Constitution authorizes them to do,
Mhm.
and that ain't it. But if
Yeah.
no one stops them, well, then that's my words and a quarter will buy you a gumball. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. So what do you see? What do you see our best strategy is to push back on this? Like, obviously, we're all saying, "Hey, comment." I think the comment period's not open yet, right? It's not
No,
actually
the
open for
rule
comment.
hasn't been posted yet.
Okay, so what is this 115-page thing that we're seeing?
This is the
The
well,
proposed
ATF
rule.
is telling us this is the rule that's going to be put up.
Okay, but they can change it, or
Yeah, it would be kind of like a dick move, but they could.
so they could
Um,
technically change what actually goes up.
I think so. Yeah.
Okay, all right.
Because this is, I mean, they're just putting it on their website, like, and the website links to regulations.org or
Mhm.
regulations.gov, and it's not up there yet.
Mhm.
And then it just kind of, so like, yeah, theoretically, nothing would prevent them from doing that.
Mhm.
And it also, like, we wouldn't be able to do anything anyway because it's not, the 90 days starts once they post the
Once they put the
regulation.
thing. So does it usually happen that they take this long before you can actually? Because I know sometimes it
Usually they kind
does.
of just throw it up and then announce it.
Yeah, right. Yeah, or it happens
Kind of like,
faster. Like
surprise!
yeah, or it's within 48 hours from what I've seen before. I mean, we've
Yeah,
gone several days and it hasn't. Why is
right.
that? Why do you think that is? Are they
Maybe
still
there's a
revising?
problem.
Okay.
Maybe, I don't know. Like, um,
Because I think
there's a
this was
lot of,
100. This was 107 pages. Then it became 115, right?
yeah, it got thick and they fed her a little turkey and a little bit of stuff and
Yeah. Yeah. Are
and thick
you
with it.
Are you aware of what was in the 107? Like, what's the
Yes,
difference between 107? What's the difference?
I have change logs. They made a lot of structural changes. They fixed a couple grammatical errors, and I was a little upset because I wanted them to leave those in. They injected a couple grammatical errors.
Uh-huh.
They added more factors to the new definition of framer receiver.
Mm-hmm.
They changed images. They rearranged paragraphs, and like it was just a lot of there were a few substantive changes, very very few, but it was
Mm.
mostly stylistic and yeah, like the structural stuff.
Are they? Do you think they're watching what we're all saying about this and monitoring it, and that has some effect, or this was just like an administrative thing that happened?
Well, there's one thing in there that because they said that the new definition is not intended to change previous classifications on what is and is not a frame or receiver,
Mm-hmm.
and then they said that the AR-70, Beretta AR-70, at the
Mm-hmm.
lower is now considered the frame or receiver,
Mm-hmm.
but they'd always thought it was the upper,
Mm-hmm.
always.
Yeah.
So,
What's happening?
and I pointed that out,
Mm-hmm.
and they didn't change that. And
Mm-hmm.
also, the Beretta AR-70 is more like the SIG, an AK series, right? Where that
Mm-hmm.
that
Mm-hmm.
bent tube
Mm-hmm.
is more properly considered a
Mm-hmm.
receiver.
Mm-hmm.
But they still went ahead and reversed that. So I'm not sure how much they're listening, I guess is what I'm
Hmm.
saying.
Okay.
Because that's an obvious huge problem.
Mm-hmm.
Like flipping, because there's a bunch of parts kits and stuff where we didn't think that the lower was the receiver, and here they are,
Yeah.
but
Yeah.
suddenly they're going
Okay.
to change their mind.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's weird to figure out. Sanctuary County says Overton window, axe for the moon, then walk it back a little bit, with the end result being that they have moved the ball a few yards down the field.
Yeah, that could
Um,
happen.
mm-hmm,
That's possible.
mm-hmm. Yeah, and Vanessa Kitty says, I think President will declare public health emergency soon enough on guns. He will use the tactics just used for our current pandemic.
I mean, I don't really know what he can really do with
Mm-hmm.
respect to that. But
Yeah.
yeah,
I mean, right now there's a lot of limitations on what they can do. I mean, maybe that's why
not
the
enough.
yeah, maybe that's why the ATF is not like trying to say, hey, you don't have the right to make your own guns, right? It seems like they don't want
Well,
it weighed
they
into.
would love to. They would
Okay.
love to say that, but there's just no way they can say it. I
Mhm.
mean, the law is so well. Although I think the law is so clear on everything else, right? So
Mhm.
maybe in a few months we'll be having this conversation again. But
Yeah. So
the
explain to
law
me.
says very clearly
Okay.
when it refers to people, who have to serialize, who have to do all this
Mhm.
stuff, it very clearly says importers and
Mhm.
manufacturers, licensed importers and manufacturers must,
Mhm.
and
Mhm.
that's it.
Okay.
That's it's hard to get around.
Yeah. What's the established law on people making their own firearms?
Well, there isn't any.
Okay,
That's
there isn't any.
why. No,
Okay.
that's why. Like so, that's what you have to understand is that
Mhm.
the law doesn't tell you what you can do. We
Mhm.
don't live in a.
Mhm.
Those systems exist, and we don't live in one of them. The law tells you what you can't do, and
Mhm.
so the law very specifically says who has to apply for an FFL to deal in with firearms. Right? It's people
Mhm.
who are doing it for a course of living,
Mhm.
sending the guns interstate, right? Stuff like that. If I make a gun for my own use and enjoyment in my state, they don't have the jurisdiction over that. They don't have the power.
Mhm.
They can't touch it.
Mhm.
At least theoretically, they can't touch it. I mean, it's unconstitutional for them to touch it. If they wrote a new law, I'm sure they'd
Mhm.
try. But
So,
that's what the law says.
so you feel like if they reached that far, the Supreme Court would respond to it?
Oh, the
Maybe
Supreme
they.
Court would be too far. Supreme
Okay.
Court, in my opinion,
Mhm.
like stranger things have happened, right? They could pack the court.
Mhm.
It could happen. It's possible.
Mhm.
It's not likely, but it's possible. But the way things currently stand, I think that even our Supreme Court, who is very gutless when it comes to protecting our rights,
Mhm. Mhm.
um, would not stand for that. That would be too much.
Okay. Um. Let's see. Born to be a shooter. Josh says. Is this 90 days ending mean this actually takes effect in 90?
No.
How does that all work?
So you have 90 days for comment.
Mm-hmm.
And then what they're going to do is come back and post the final version.
Mm-hmm.
Then usually that will go effect within 30 days. So you're talking about like 120 days from the date they posted it.
Okay. All right. And so,
Could be less though. They can change it, but that's the usual course of business.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So what do you think about, like I see 42 Chilled says, I've seen nothing but non-compliance for the last, is that 14 or 1.4 years, it looks like he says. Every state is different. So
I think he's
obviously,
talking about the period of the current world events.
yeah.
Yeah.
So, I think that there's more and more states declaring themselves sanctuaries. You and I have had this conversation, right?
Mhm.
Do you think that that's the way to go about all of this? Do you think,
No.
Okay, what's your way to go about
I
it?
mean, I think if we're going to do the sanctuary thing, it has to be a sanctuary provision that actually has teeth,
Mm-hmm.
right? That actually has civil remedies or
Mm-hmm.
civil consequences for government officers that go ahead and do work with the federal government or go ahead and do enforce a law that affects the simple possession of the right to keep and bear arms.
Mm-hmm.
There have been a couple really good proposals for sanctuary provisions, but none of them are really running with it to that effect. You need
Mm-hmm.
to actually, if you're going to be a jurisdiction that really cares about the Second Amendment, you need to show it because right now they're like, oh, we're not going to do this,
Mm-hmm.
and then what happens if they actually do?
Yeah,
Right.
I mean, because we don't know, and I'm not trying to say like I know we have sanctuary counties on here.
Right.
Maybe I need to plan to get you and sanctuary counties on at the same time to have this conversation.
Well, no, I
Um,
love the idea. It just needs
yeah,
to. They need to have the balls to
right.
actually put the chain on themselves
Mm-hmm.
and say, "I'm not going to look at here. I'm not leaving this tree. Look, I chained myself to the tree." That's what they have
Yeah.
to do. Right now, they're saying, "I'm not leaving the tree."
Right.
It's like,
Well, so
okay,
that's what I agree with. Like I tell people that okay, my county is a sanctuary county, and then they're,
right,
what does that mean? And
right,
I'm like, I don't know. It means it's a sanctuary county, bro.
yeah. And I've talked to officers who work in sanctuary counties, and they have no
Mhm.
idea what the significance of it is.
Yeah. What
But,
is
but
so?
so
Hmm.
if you do it the way I would want to see it done would be all laws affecting the simple possession of firearms. No money will be enforced for this. And if a person has an enforcement action, like, as a result of the Preservation Act, that's a good one. But yeah, as a result of our agents, basically,
Hmm.
they automatically get $250,000.
Hmm.
I can bet if that was in place, every single sergeant, right, every single commander in the state law enforcement or in the county law enforcement would make sure that every one of their beat cops knew exactly what not to do,
Hmm.
right?
Yeah, because they don't want to start getting those penalties.
Exactly. And
Right.
that would be a real thing that would really make people feel safe.
Hmm.
If they, and then I bet you,
Hmm.
oh, yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah, we'll do it, brother.
Yeah, we'll make it
Yeah.
happen. Lola, so Sanctuary County says he really wants to get on the show with Fuddbusters. He's speaking my language. I'll make sure that we've sent you guys info.
Okay, it'll be done.
Okay, Lola says okay, okay.
And so it is. So it shall be done.
Yeah.
As he has said.
So Lola says, so shall it be done. Yeah. So what exact? So there's specific language you want to see in there? Have you like
I
written
want to
out
see him
any
tie their hand to
documents?
the tree.
Okay, but have you authored any language or anything like that to go into these things, or
You know what? I
have you
have some
seen one
drafts.
that you like the language? Go ahead. You've got a
Yeah, I
draft.
have some drafts that I've kicked around with people, and it's hard for me to get somebody to like get on board this because most of the counties just don't want to do it, right? They're like, oh wait, whoa.
Mm-hmm.
I can get in trouble, right?
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
It's hard to push on them, but I think if we all like together say, hey, this is what we expect.
Mm-hmm.
Because
Yeah.
I mean, think about it. If you're a person who lives in one of these counties, and they go, "Oh, we're a sanctuary now," and you think, "Oh, awesome! right?
Yeah, it's giving you some kind of false sense, like, oh, I'm good. It doesn't matter. Yeah, let me go on YouTube and go, haha, ATF, you can't do anything, and then clink.
Yeah. Yeah, and it's like, oh, you're my county cop. Why'd you do that? And it's like, well, what's your recourse? What is the county gonna have to pay back the like $3 that would have been his salary for the 5 minutes he arrested you? You know, because it says they shouldn't spend any money on it. It's too late. He already handed you over to the ATF. He already made the phone call. You know, it's too late. Right.
Yeah. We do need some of those. Rebel Sapper says some local attorneys in PA are against sanctuaries. They say it will hurt preemption laws they used against municipalities making BS ordinances. I don't agree, but
it's an interesting argument. It's interesting. Yeah, I don't think I agree either.
Okay. Yeah.
I mean, I think I agree with the commenter.
Right. Yeah. I know that. Okay, so look, there are teeth in some things here in Florida, right? So I think, for example, cities, whatever townships, whatever you have in Florida, cannot make up their own gun laws.
Well, that's state preemption.
Yeah, so there's preemption in the state. Now they're trying very hard to fight back on that. Like I'm in Gainesville. I don't live in Gainesville, but Gainesville is one of the places trying to push back on that so they can make their own gun laws, but they cannot do it right now. They have to
Orange County and Dade and, you know.
Yeah, I think they have to change the Florida state constitution, right, in order to do that.
Well, we amend the constitution for like no reason, so.
Yeah, there's lots of stupid amendments going. Every chance they get, they put
that's how they're
amendments
trying to do the assault weapon ban here.
Yeah.
They want to get it they want to make it a constitutional amendment.
Yeah.
And people will kind of just like, I think we've learned the past couple of elections in Florida that people will just kind of click yes on whatever.
Yeah, for sure.
You know, like that law that
if it sounds right.
Yeah, the amendment that banned dog racing because everyone thought that all these dogs are going to get adopted. Well, you know, where I'm living right now, Palm Beach Kennel Club is right down the street. Guess what? Hundreds and hundreds of dogs died.
It's sad. It's a I think people don't understand the ramifications of things a lot of times. I know they are trying. Yeah, I know they are trying to get those dogs adopted. Like, why would you? It's not easy for you to go adopt specially bred race dogs.
Yeah. Yeah,
you know
these
what
dogs
I mean?
aren't. You know, I've seen them. They're not miserable. They just that's what they do. They go fast and then they eat.
Yeah, but they're highly specialized. Anything that's highly specialized, it's like why do we do it in the first place? So I'm not saying I agree with us doing it, right?
Right. I mean, I'm not entertained by it.
No, I've never been into it. I don't, I don't even know enough about it except that it's a form of gambling and all that kind of stuff. But how do you dismantle that is the question.
Right.
You know,
without doing harm.
Yeah, without doing harm to. Yeah, I mean, obviously you would have to slowly do it because there's all these dogs bred for this up until one day, and then after that day they can't be used for that. Now here's these dogs specially bred for something. Who's going to adopt these dogs?
Yeah. Do you think they're housebroken? No. No, this dog runs fast.
Yeah, these are things with high metabolism, very active. You know, I mean, you probably need some lessons. They have a specialized purpose, and they need to go about that purpose, or they probably will be miserable.
Yeah.
You know, which is a form of cruelty, right?
Yeah.
So how do we deal with these things? We can't just wave a wand and deal with it, but
that's what they think they did. They're like, it's banned, right? And now, what's the consequence? Hundreds of dogs are dead now. Thanks, guys.
Yeah, you know, and then eventually the breed probably is going to. I'm not sure what states do it. Is it only Florida? I think there's other states. There's other states that get involved in this. So we're crazy.
I wasn't expecting that, to be honest.
What?
It was a crazy one. No, that them to pass that. And then also they write them so sneakily.
Yeah.
Right. They said that the 1 penny tax.
Yeah.
You see that last one? And everyone's like, "Oh yeah, I'll pay a penny for the firefighter's pension." It's like, no, now they just raised it a whole %. You idiot.
Yeah. Don't you want to save the Baby Seals Act?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just a penny on every dollar you'll spend for the rest of your life in the state.
Yeah. Yeah, and there's no way, it's just a thing that they do, right? And it's really
Right.
tough, and most people don't understand. And typically, if you don't so like what I do is I try to research everything on the ballot before I go vote. But obviously,
Mm-hmm.
I'm a nerd. People aren't going to take the time to do
Yeah,
that and
if
research
you
things.
or just
Huh?
vote no on everything.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. That's your alternative. Just go, nope,
Yeah.
nope,
Well,
nope.
and always, and if I have like I like to research everything too, and I like to vote. And if I don't know about the candidates, you know what I do? I vote against the incumbent
Mm-hmm.
because the incumbency advantage is BS. And so if I'm gonna like use a vote, it should be to outweigh the incumbency advantage.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. This brings up a question. I don't know I don't know if there's any other questions about this this proposed rule from the ATF, and I know folks are probably kind of like sick and tired of that
Yeah.
at this point, which may be the point. But have you ever? This is my question. Have you ever thought of running for political office?
Yep.
Okay. When are you planning on doing it?
Nope.
That's the answer. Nope. Never.
Nope. I thought of it, and I thought I wanted to do it, and then I lived in DC for a few years, and I met all these politicians, and they're actually lizards, and I want nothing to do with them.
Okay.
Yep. I
Okay.
was like, these people are really repulsive, and there's a few of them that I've met that were really awesome, but they've told me it's miserable because like you have to wind up playing by their rules, or they just don't let you come to the table.
Mm-hmm.
And so if I've realized that if I did run for office, I would probably just like get a good 2 years in screaming at everyone, and then either
Mhm.
disappear or suddenly not be reelected because the party commission grand wizard decided
Mhm.
against
Mhm.
me.
Yeah. It's probably a tough game. Why do you think people do it?
Hubris,
Hmm?
mostly
Hubris?
hubris.
But so don't you think that someone does need to do it though? Like someone needs to step up and do this. Or are
Yeah.
we just trapped? Are we just going to get the people who purely just want the power and that's why they're doing it?
Well, it's been like this since 20 years after our country was
Mhm.
founded. They were already writing about this exact phenomenon, about
Mhm.
people seeking power for themselves, not for the people. And
Mhm.
it's always been a problem. I think the way we fix that is by taking away the incentives, the bad incentives that are there.
Mhm.
Um, I've thought about running for local office sanctuary counties.
Mhm.
That I could possibly stomach because it's part time, and
Mhm.
actually the Florida state legislature is part time too.
Mhm.
So you get a little bit better, a little bit better.
Yeah, if you
Profits.
decide to do it, I'll definitely help you as much as I can here,
I
man.
mean, I can.
You know.
I can't imagine a radical like me being allowed.
We can make it happen. We can make it happen. Believe it or not, I mean, I think even right now, a lot of the problems we're having in Florida has lost its gunshine state status.
Yes.
Unfortunately, to me, which is sad. I moved here
No,
for
I
guns.
agree completely. No, I was born here, and I love it here. And
Mhm.
I'm like, I'm one of those people who it's like, no, it's my state. I'm not leaving. But it's almost to the point where, I would think about. I'm not going to do it. Right? I've
Mhm.
decided I'm sticking it out, no matter
Mhm.
what happens.
Mhm.
But yeah, I mean, I would consider running for office here, but never anything
Mhm.
more.
Yeah.
Although
Um.
you just got me to that from no, I'm never doing it.
Right.
Very
Right.
convincing.
That's the whole point of what we do here. Um. you know.
Yeah, but I would definitely scream at.
I'll do
I
an
would
evil
definitely
laugh.
scream at people.
Yeah. Listen, you
That
know
would.
what the thing? Listen, people need to be screamed at, man.
I think so.
People need to be
And,
screamed at. No one's perfect. We all mess up, and you can still be friends with someone after you scream at them. Lola gets
yeah,
mad if I shout at her, but I'm doing it to make you pay attention. So it might be rude, but sometimes you get shouted at to make you pay attention, and it happens to
well,
me, right?
sometimes I'm not listening,
Yeah,
and then
me
somebody
too.
goes, "Hey, yeah," and then I'm like,
Yeah, wait a second.
"Wait, am I dumb?" Well,
Yeah. So this is why I think it's one of these things that needs to happen. But look, a lot of stuff happening in Florida is because of these local politicians and the guys who are going out there. So I think that it's tough, right? Like
Yeah,
it's tempting. It's easy to say, "Oh, I'm going to do this for the people, for the Constitution,
yeah.
for America." Then you get there, and the people start going, "Hey,
Would you
we'll
like?
give you this."
Would you like? Yeah.
Yeah.
Would you like special zoning permits
Yeah.
or whatever? Like,
Yeah, you
no, and
start you start getting hypnotized by,
right. Well, that wouldn't work on me one bit. I've seen it
yeah,
all. I've seen all that lizard talk. I
hmm
know it.
yeah,
I'd be like, just go ahead and spit the acid.
yeah,
But here's the
yeah,
other problem, though. The two counties that I'm deeply connected to, because I also don't believe in, you
hmm
know, going off and living and establishing yourself in a county just to win a political race,
right.
are the bluest counties in the whole state.
Oh, really?
Palm Beach and well, Palm Beach is not that, it's purple, but then orange, and orange is bright blue.
Yeah, I would say Palm Beach. I mean, the people who are running stuff in Palm Beach they're kind of on the blue side. I mean,
Right.
didn't they kick out Colonel West?
Yeah, there's something like that happened.
Yeah. And that was one of the things he was there. I think now he's in Texas or someplace, right?
Yeah, yeah.
So,
It's the city of Palm Beach. So you got to be confused. It's easy to get confused by the city of Palm Beach, who's the ones who was one of the only cities that actually like tried to put a curfew on
hmm
and tried to close all the gun shops and everything like that.
hmm
And then there's Palm Beach County, which is not much better, but
yeah,
it is different.
yeah. Lola and I, we all we lived in Palm Beach, or West Palm Beach, I should say.
Yeah,
Not Palm
that's
Beach.
where I am, West Palm Beach. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. I'm not baller enough to live in like North Palm Beach.
yeah, on the island.
Uh, yeah, I have worked with some people up there. There's a building up there. I can't remember exactly where it was. I could probably look it up and tell you, but it's like the tallest building in Palm Beach, and it's like a big giant condo building, and it
Oh
has
yeah,
docks and everything. I think Tiger Woods parks his boat down over
yeah,
there. Yeah,
yeah. I know what you're talking about. Yeah,
yeah.
that's actually like a couple blocks that way from me.
Yeah, Lola used to work in the Costco in West Palm Beach, off of
Oh,
I
dope.
ninety
The one on
five.
Lantana?
Yeah, she used to work there. She was the
Where do I go?
she ran the pharmacy there.
Oh,
Yeah, for a few years while when we lived up there. So you
yeah.
know,
No, I've been going to that that
yeah,
Costco for a long
Tiger Woods used to go up there too, man. That's
time.
like that's where Costco was.
It's a good Costco. It's big.
Yeah, man.
Big.
Yeah, it was good. Yeah, I got I could. That's how I got real fat. I would tell Lola whenever she was getting off work to bring me a butter pretzel.
Yeah. Oh man, the
So-
hot dog. That's something
yeah.
I can't go to Costco without going out with a hot dog.
Yeah, it's not good for you. But so we did live there. We lived in a place called Green Acres.
I know Green Acres, man.
Yeah,
Yeah, I lived. When I was a kid, it was in Lake Worth on the edge of Green Acres. So like on Lantana and Jog.
hmm hmm
Yeah, where I
Yeah,
was.
we there's I forgot what is it called, Nautica Isles or something. When that place was
Yeah.
brand new, yeah, we had a pretty much a mansion there. I think we had like 7 bedrooms or some craziness. We didn't even have
That's
enough furniture to put in things in places over there. It was kind of ridiculous. Um, Lola always said this is like an oasis in the middle of the ghetto.
well, it's not the ghetto anymore.
Uh,
That's for sure.
what's it looking like nowadays?
I mean, I hate suburbia, so
Yeah,
to me, it looks like a a trap for hedge funds and
yeah,
the Niveau Riche, but
um,
it's certainly not.
yeah. I wasn't a fan of it. I don't like HOAs, man.
No, and I right now so I'm living in a duplex in West Palm Beach while I get my property done. This
hmm
house was built in 1940. There was
hmm
no HOA here.
hmm
I got a neighbor leaving a note on my door
hmm
telling me that they didn't like how I had the yard.
They didn't
And
like how you did what?
the yard.
What?
They're like, you need to change the bushes. You need to clean up the yard. And I was like, you know what? I was like, you know what? I'm gonna change it up. I'm gonna change this yard up. And so I ordered a dozen pink flamingos and some garden gnomes. So I was thinking, what do HOA people hate the most? And so my yard is covered in flamingos and garden gnomes now, and they light up.
Mm.
And
Nice.
and,
So there is no. So there is a HOA or there is no
No.
HOA. Okay.
No, HOAs were not a thing in 1940. This, like, you know, like maybe they were in beta testing in 1940, but there is no HOA on this street. You know, this is a historic area.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Oh man! But I'm moving to that property I have in Orlando. It's 8 acres. Nobody can tell me what to do there.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the one time I was shooting my shosha out there, and I guess one of my neighbors wasn't quite used to me yet, and cops came out. I had left the gate open. Usually they wouldn't come in. They'd call.
Yeah.
They came in and they're like, "Hey, you guys shooting?" And I'm like, "Yeah." And he goes, "All right, cool. That's your right, and I support it. But we just want to come make sure you weren't shooting in the air." And I was like, "That's my berm."
Yeah.
And he goes, "Oh, you have a berm. That's awesome. Fantastic."
Yeah. That's what happens to me with my neighbors. Like, sometimes I'll get. First of all, I live out in the country. I live in farm country. If you drive around where I live, you'll see those bumper stickers. Beef, it's what's for dinner.
Yeah. Nice.
So there's nothing but farms and stuff like that out there, and I have like 1,000+ acre tree farm or whatever behind my berms where we shoot. They cut, I don't know, like maybe 6 months ago or something, cut down a bunch of the trees, but you know, we've got berms and everything dug in on the property, and we've got 6 acres, and everyone's always shooting. If I'm not out there shooting, you'll hear someone over there shooting.
Yeah. No, in my neighborhood too, but we're not. The funny thing is, this place in Orlando, it's a gem, because
this must be like on the edge of Orlando somewhere, right? Like,
yeah, it's almost Bithlo. It's on 50, about a mile east of the university, but and it's like gentrifying, right? And this was just a spot with a bunch of trailers, and I bought the last undeveloped parcel in the area, and you know, no one knows about it, but I bought it 2.5 years ago. And now there's a Starbucks on the end of the road that it's at, and like,
oh boy,
300 meters from the entrance to my property is a little, you know, like Levittown house, you know, with a bunch of 0 lot line houses, and it's like, if you think you're going to get me to stop shooting, because I know what the law is, they may not have They might not have realized they got a lawyer in there. So now the law. So but every weekend, like you said, it's not just me. Every weekend, still, even with all that development coming on, there's one of my neighbors that shoots every single weekend from noon to 6 p.m. whole time.
God bless America.
It's just like the whole time from that. I don't know. It can't just be one person, right? Who has that much ammunition? But the whole time from noon to 6.
People in Florida do.
Well, it's just. That's what you hear all day. Like every 30 seconds.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh, Florida, man. I don't think they ever want to try to paratroop people into Florida. Even the liberals are gonna cap you up here, you know. People have guns here.
Yeah, watch. That would be when my neighbor calls me like, "Do you have any of those anti-aircraft sites?"
So yeah, it's weird. Like, my place is the same thing, and sometimes someone will move in over there, or for whatever reason they call the cops. And the last time it happened, I saw my deputies driving up and down the road. And then they would pull over, then they would be looking at us, and I was like, okay, what's going on? And they would be right there looking at what we're doing. And then eventually they came to the gate, and I went out, and they were like, oh, you're on YouTube, right? Because one of the other guys said, yeah, the guy who lives here is on YouTube. So they knew like what I was up to, and they're like, hey, the only thing over here, we looked at what you're doing, you got berms and all that, so like if you're shooting across the road or doing something unsafe, they have to see that. They have to observe that. But if you obviously have berms and all that, you're not doing that. You know, and he's like, the only thing here, man, is there's a noise ordinance that starts at 10 p.m.
Yeah, 10. Yeah, 10.
Yeah, I'm not going to be out there shooting unless, like, I've got some coyotes I want to murk out. But I'll be out there with some suppressors or...
Oh, no, that's what I actually... I have a hog that is causing a couple little problems. And
Yeah.
actually, one night I was out there with night vision and a suppressor, wandering around looking for him.
Yeah, see, I don't have any good night vision right now, so I need to get some friends or whatever
Well,
over
what's
and
bad night vision? What do you
I
have?
mean, I don't really have anything. I don't have anything.
Oh,
Yeah. So I
well,
think I
man,
have
yeah.
like a old
Let's go.
school. I have a old school ATN or something like that that I've never
Okay.
really gotten to be any good. I think that's like it.
Well, then, yeah. Let's one night we'll do a night
Yeah.
vision coyote search.
Yeah, we need to just have a party out there. This coyote, I've been showing people all week. Here, I'll show you.
On your
This
trail cams?
this thing. No, Lola. One day, Lola was off, and she was looking out the window, and she's like, "What is this thing? What is this creature out in the yard?" I was like, "What?" And I go look, and it was a coyote at noon, on the property. So let me see here. Let's see. I'll run this in here. So right here, that's the coyote right there walking.
So weird.
Yeah, let me see if I could just play that. Okay, right there. See that?
Nope, that's yo.
Yeah. So, um, he was just walking around out there. So now the thing for me is that is my front yard is facing like I've got different things out there, so I didn't just want to go out. I went out, but I should have like grabbed my 300 blackout. It's integrally suppressed and all that kind of
Right.
stuff. I should have gone and grabbed that, So I'm trying to get Lola to be trained up, like, grab my rifle, woman. You know, just it needs to be instinctive for us, right? If I don't grab
Right.
it, Lola needs to go grab it. You know.
Right. Yeah,
Instead,
no, you
she's
want to get
like
rid of
she's
that
coming out
stupid.
behind me. I was like, listen, you should be grabbing the rifle. At
Right.
least I'm
Where's your
like I
rifle?
have something on me, huh?
Yeah, it's like, where's your rifle?
Yeah.
So,
I
no, that's
I
one
always
thing
I
about
carry
living
it
on acreage.
home, huh?
One thing about living on acreage that I didn't understand at first is
Mhm.
that, even like you and I don't have like huge properties or nothing, but
Mhm.
stuff will come out at you.
Yeah. Oh,
It's
well. I mean, I never. You're talking about like I grew up in New York City.
right.
My property is probably bigger than Central Park. Oh no, I think someone told me it's the size of Central Park.
It is not the size of Central Park.
Yeah. Okay. How big is Central Park, Lola?
I don't know, but it's more than 6 acres.
It's,
I don't
I
know.
think it's one of
Freaking
the
acres.
Yeah. Let's see how big Central Park is. Let's see how many acres. Now you're gonna make me Google something, Lola.
Central Park is
Let's
like
Google how many acres
50, 60, 100.
Central Park.
I think it's like 100 something.
Oh no, it's a lot of acres. Okay.
Yeah,
Exactly.
it's like 120.
No, it's 840.
Oh,
No, nowhere near. I wasn't anywhere close.
Oh.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
That's large.
No, I don't have enough
Yeah.
acreage. I don't. I feel
Yeah,
now.
maybe you're
I
the
feel
ice
cheap.
skating rink.
I feel cheated now.
Like a parking lot.
I feel like I need. Yeah, yeah. I feel like I need like 1,000 acres now. That
Yeah, but that's the problem is where are you going to get 1,000 acres where you can also like go to the store,
It's some other
and not-
park. Some other park that I'm confusing with Sanctuary Counties is right there on it. Yeah, it's huge. But I feel like it's a park to me, man. Like I look at my property, I'm like, this is big. But I would
Yeah, I
love
mean,
to,
me too.
yeah, I would love
Right.
to have 1,000 acres though, because I would like do like a nice long distance shooting setup or something. The 1,000
Oh, yeah.
acres that's behind me, I would love to own it.
Yeah, no, I mean, me too. And
Mhm.
with 8 acres, and I'm really on top of it about safety. Like, I'm not going to let any bullets leave my property. So I've got to, you got to have at least 20 degrees of muzzle depression. So I can
Mhm.
only get like 25, 30 yards where I still feel,
Mhm.
safe. Shooting. I don't know. How far out do you get?
So I can shoot like the way that we have it set up. I could shoot easily 50 yards. I could go back like 50, 75 yards, and if I push it a little bit, I could go back about 100 yards and shoot. But I kind of like set everything up for that. But what I want to do is build for the same reason that you're saying.
Like a tower?
I do have a tower down closer to my berms. That's basically like an old industrial air conditioning vent. So it's a big,
Awesome.
massive thing. And we welded some railings onto it so you can climb up on it. And we could shoot there. But that's really close. That's like maybe 20 yards into the berms. So we could comfortably shoot at like 10 yards, 20, 25, 30, 50 yards.
Right.
And then if we want to push back, we can go back to like 75 or 100 yards if we really need to. But I go to, if I want to do long distance stuff, I go to Aries Firearms Training in Leesburg.
Yeah,
Have
no,
you?
I know the guys there. Yeah.
Yeah.
I've
Okay.
actually never been.
You never been? Okay. Yeah.
I'm a member of Seminole County Gun
okay.
and Archery. They got a 400-yard range.
Okay, but so Aries isn't far from you, and they have an 800 yard setup out there that they have like this sonic. I can't remember the name of it, but they have this sonic setup that is transmitting. Like there's a steel setup there, and there's an app and everything that you can get on, and it'll tell you where you're hitting the steel from 800 yards.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah. So the owner Trey comes on the show here from time to time, so. You should go out there, man. We might, we can meet up there. Yeah, maybe even we'll do some events or something like that. When we're doing a fundraiser for your campaign, we'll do the fundraiser.
Get me to have to wear a suit again, man.
Yeah, listen, you're a lawyer, man. Come on. You got to run for office. Let's put it this way: you could do it before.
I'll do it.
Well, this is why we do the fundraiser. This is why we do the fundraiser. You could do it before Noir gets into politics. I don't know if he's going to get into politics either. He probably doesn't want any part of that. I think he would be. I'm not so. I know obviously we don't think much of politicians, but I think he would be great. He's
pretty slick.
Yeah. So we got the lawyer dudes. That's kind of like an American tradition, don't you feel that? Like. Lawyers, you become politicians,
Yeah, and then mess everything up.
Lincoln, Lincoln was a lawyer,
Well, most politicians are lawyers.
Yeah, Clinton.
That's what we do. We go and then mess everything up. Yeah, Clinton. Obama.
Obama was a lawyer. Yeah. Everybody can't be like Trump. Yeah,
like
Biden.
I could be just like Biden. It would be great.
Oh, no. You don't want to be anything like Biden. That's probably the last. He's probably, at this point, I didn't think we'll see worse. But,
don't say that, man.
We'll see worse.
Yeah, they'll do their research. They'll figure out a way.
Yeah.
Although, man, you know what? I think that DeSantis is going to be the next president, man. I do. Everybody around the whole country is like knows about him and, what he did during the, the current world events.
Yeah,
and I think it was exceptional, really.
I would if DeSantis, obviously he's serving, he's gonna do another term, and I think there's people that they're setting up to run against him or do whatever. I think DeSantis is I'm not gonna say he's a perfect 100% governor, but I think he's doing a lot of good things. I think he could do better things. I would like to see him call for getting rid of a lot of the gun control that we put into effect here in Florida. And then if I see that...
The problem with our state politics is that they convince, and I know some people in Tallahassee, and all of the state Republicans are convinced that they need to pretend to be like lukewarm or middle, I'm for the middle ground solutions. No. They all think that though, right? And they probably went and poisoned DeSantis that same way, if he wasn't already that way.
I would hope that DeSantis would make these guys do some reversals of a lot of the gun control we have here. There's a lot of nonsense here that really shouldn't be in effect in Florida, and it's shameful, that you have to be 21 years old and all kinds of stuff.
That's
here.
Repulsive.
Yeah, it is.
Repulsive. I think did I talk to you about I probably wouldn't be here doing this if that was in effect, when I turned 18.
Yeah.
Because the first thing I did, on my 18th birthday, where I was impulsive or whatever, I was like, what can I do? I want to do something. And I went to Palm Beach Shooting Center, and they had an M1 carbine, and I bought it. Nice. That was awesome. By the time I was 21, I had already been in college for a couple of years.
Yeah, you're a typical, now that I think about it, you're like a prototypical Florida guy, man. 18 years old, you're driving muscle cars and motorcycles, buying guns.
Yeah, that's what I did on my 18th birthday. I had a buddy, Haitian guy, and he was like, "What do you want to do for lunch?" And I was like, "I want to go to the gun store." And so we were like, all right. And yeah, we got in the muscle
Mhm.
car and drove to the pet store.
Mhm. Yeah. Oh, cool. Yeah. That's shameful, I think, that they did that. And when I spoke to some of the people that that allow that to happen here, they were like, "Oh, I don't even think people should be able to vote. Republicans. I
Right.
don't even think they should be able to vote or do this." And I was like, "How can you tell a guy that's 18, 19 years old he could be, in the military?" Now, I think they made some military exemptions or something like that, but it's still
Right,
crazy.
but it's all nonsense.
Yeah, there's young women out there who are 18, 19, 20 years old. They can't defend themselves unless their daddy could go buy that gun for them or something,
Right.
you know.
No, it's dehumanizing. It's really
Yeah.
repulsive.
Yeah. So I would like to see, I'm not trying to knock DeSantis. I think DeSantis has done a lot of good things.
Hmm.
And obviously they're going to come after him, but I
Right.
think that he could shore up his position and definitely get folks like us to support him here in Florida if he
Yeah.
does. He needs to claw back some of that gun control that was put in effect under what is it, Scott?
Hmm.
I mean,
Yep.
Scott had the benefit of going off and getting into the Senate, and every time I see his face, I feel like he's Nosferatu.
The first time I ever voted for a Democrat
Mm-hmm.
was so I could vote against Rick Scott.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Well, back in this is the one thing about doing a podcast. It's documented. Like everyone else that's on here, like we've had conversations about Scott, and I was telling people don't vote for this guy, and everyone's getting mad at me. What do you want, Hank Strange? What do you want? You want Democrats to win?
No, you have to send a message.
Yeah.
You have to what are you going to do? Just let them get away with it? Well, yeah, that's what they did.
Yeah, that's what we
So, yeah,
did.
no,
And,
now he's off in the Senate.
yeah.
We went
Now,
and voted for him.
Yep, and now I see people mad, and I see he's trying to toe the line and act a certain way, but yeah, I don't trust any of these guys,
I
including
think it
him,
just, you know what
including him
made me
over there.
just sick? When he said Floridians will learn to accept the new normal when he
Hmm.
when he signed that
No,
law.
no, that's not
It's
what
like,
that's not what
it ain't what
Florida.
it's about.
No, that's not what Florida is about.
We're not
So
normal. Don't tell us to be a new normal.
this is the gunshine state. I want to bring the
Yeah.
gunshine state back, man. We need to put together like some kind of Florida gunshine state mafia type of deal here, so that you could bring it back. 42 Chilled says Trump/DeSantis 2024. No, I'm done with Trump. I don't really need to see Trump, and I know I get it. There's a whole lot of folks out there who want to see Trump for what. Uh, I think Trump. He was president. What? Why do you? I don't think Trump. If you guys want my prediction, Trump's not getting back into this.
No, man. No.
He's not getting back into it, and I don't need to see it either. And Trump left us some bad things. All this stuff that we're talking about with the ATF, he
He was
allowed
pushing it.
some. Yeah, he allowed some of this to happen. He didn't
Mhm.
replace people at the ATF with anyone viable. So look, I voted for Trump both times. I'm a New Yorker. I don't dislike Trump. I like Trump, but that time's over, and we got to move on. This is how this is how it works. We have to move
Yeah,
on
there
to
were some
other
things that
people.
were really cool.
For
You
sure.
know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
I
but
think I think
there's
I think
nothing-
Trump was cheated out of the presidency also. I mean,
Probably, maybe, I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean, I'm sure
uh,
there's compelling evidence that anything could have
yeah,
happened.
for
right?
sure.
But I don't. Yeah.
But
It ain't-
ultimate-
it ain't about it.
yeah. Control Pew says #Gunshine Mafia. It's
He's moving here.
when is he moving?
Uh,
Oh, we don't
As
want to
soon
give
as
that
I-
up. We don't want to give that
well,
up.
yeah. Well, as
necessarily.
soon as I get the Orange County to stop being terrorists, but
Oh.
it's going to be pretty soon.
Okay, so Gunshine Mafia, man. It needs to happen. We need to make this happen, man. We could slowly, we could start
Yeah.
slowly.
That's what we do. We're going to all
Yeah.
get together and buy
Yeah.
a gun rights compound,
Yeah.
and then we'll be communists. We'll have a gun commune.
Yeah. Right.
In the long range.
I get it. I understand what you're saying. Yeah, we could get Florida back, and then we can still get. We can
Yeah.
build up a. Next thing you know, we're taking over all of America. One day we'll buy California.
Well,
From the
don't you know
communists.
that's my big dream is we just go with once everything collapses, we just start up the holy empire of Long Florida and just take the whole coast,
Yeah, take everything.
take all of it, the
Yeah.
whole coast, just
Yeah.
let everyone else be inland.
Yeah. Awesome. Listen, we're over 9 o'clock. We're over 9 o'clock.
Alrighty.
I don't want to. I could keep going. I could keep going, but for the sake
No,
of
man.
this, we won't.
Yeah,
I'm gonna probably see you soon anyway, in about a
for
week
sure.
or so. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
I'll be
listen.
there.
Let's do this, man. I want to give you an opportunity here to tell the folks how they can support you, where they need to go to, how they can communicate with you, all that kind of stuff.
Well, right on. Well, I'm on YouTube, Fuddbusters, and all the other social medias like that. My professional account is Matt Law at Law on Twitter. And if you want to get into our community, Fuddbusters is a Patreon with some cool perks, and I'd love it if y'all checked out any of that stuff.
Mm-hmm. All right, awesome. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to run in the end and then come back, and you're going to leave us with some words of wisdom. Big thanks to everyone who's watching the show, hanging out here. I would encourage you guys again, smash the thumbs ups if you're there. Control Pew says first Florida, then long Florida, then round Florida. Oh my god. Okay. All right, Alex. That's a good one. That's a t-shirt.
That's good.
That's a t-shirt. Florida needs to be the schlong of America again, The schlong of America needs to stand upright once again. That's that's what we need. So anyway, listen. So thanks everyone for listening, hanging out with us. Like I said, smash the thumbs ups. Big thanks to Walther Arms for sponsoring the podcast here. We're not gonna have a show tomorrow. Oh, one quick thing before I get out, and I completely forgot to do this, and now I don't know where it is. Oh no. Okay, here we go. I just want to share. There's a couple of these Hank Strange receivers left at Safety Harbor Firearms. I think there's a few left. There's probably like 5 or less than that, and it actually has the blaster logo in it that you guys can see here. It's like $95. It's at Safety Harbor Firearms. If you get it, there's like a patch and a sticker and stuff like that I sent out with it. On one side, it has Hank Strange. On the other side, it has Safety Harbor Firearms, as you all can see right there. So you guys need to go get up on that while the supplies last and everything. We'll be back here in a second, and there is no show. There is no show tomorrow. I think we'll be back Monday, right, Lola?
Right.
Yeah. So get up on those receivers. Don't say I didn't tell you guys about it. I didn't say anything. We'll be back here in a second. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed the show. I know I definitely did. We're going to take the audio here and throw it up on iTunes and all your favorite places to listen to audio podcasts from. Don't forget to go check out US Law Shield as well. Big thanks to Matthew Larosiere for joining us tonight. It's been fun as usual, hanging out and talking with you, man. What's your words of wisdom that you can hit us with?
Anything more than minimum compliance is self-regulation, and that's weak.
Awesome. Thank you so much. We'll see you guys Monday. We're out of here. Peace.